Tobin and Leroy.
Leroy Ford was one of the baddest men.
Dude, they call me the kangaroo.
Yeah. Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better ask about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, host of the show, man. Still silly sauce with the show in. Till then, it's half moon open. Sometimes go takes like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a molding. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever did again. What is in store? Like under the seat of the driver's side floor, it's Coochie's galore, so many more from 6 in the Mars, never a more. Man, if I'm honest, the damage is done. Silly sauce, unlimited funds. Join us on Twitch for unlimited fun. J-Fig and Marcos, you with it or what?
Tobin, who Tobin is.
Oh, who is that guy? What's up, everybody, and welcome on in. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Leroy, you're muted. I can't hear anything. Any snark you're saying right now is unheard by our audience.
Bonjour.
Oh, it's very French in your house right now, eh?
Yeah.
You sound a little deflated about it, I got to be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
Well, Rudy Gobert's walking around here.
I barely have grasped the concept of English. And the only thing that could throw me off more is another language. So,
do you want to explain to people what that means? Is you're kind of leaving it
the Canadians are in town. The Canadians are in town. No English spoken.
A lot of nudity too, right? They don't care for the bathing suit.
No, that's not these. Oh my goodness!
Right.
I'll call the police.
What's going on here?
Dude, they do things different.
They do. All right. Well,
and everything is okay. It's okay.
Let's get to some headlines here, brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
I stay this weekend. Pretty good.
A little comeback from Friday. Wait, comeback from Friday because we were miserable Saturday morning.
Oh man, listen, there's nothing I hate more than losing to the New York Knicks, especially
that way. Oh my goodness, and it never touched any rim. It wasn't like when Kawhi shot it against Philly and it bounced around 5 times. That thing never had a chance of missing.
Yeah, but it also he gets the ball poked away and it bounces back right to him. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, it was just he was hitting those all game, Julius Randle. Now that being said, not a true loss. I mean, you want to talk about corruption from these referees. These officials out here, you know what inbounds is or you don't know what inbounds is? I'm trying to figure it out. Leroy, do you know what it is? Because I feel like I know what it is. I know what inbounds is. And somehow it seems these officials, they love to take away points from the Miami Heat. Tyler Hero gets a bucket right under the basket and they call him out of bounds. And he was like a foot in bounds. What was that? Corruption. That's what it is. I mean, the NBA wants to wait. It's that time of year. Ratings are down. And I can see what's going on here. We all can see what's going on here, dude.
If I may, if Randall doesn't make a ridiculous shot, you're having a different conversation. Like it can't, it can't be that. Will we not be talking? Like he had made a great shot. It happened.
Made a great shot. Also,
they played. Listen.
Also buoyed by the fact that the referees were giving him illegal free throws, which, by the way, thanks for that 2-minute report telling us that we effed up on those calls. Appreciate it. I always love those. It's, what a gift that we have that clarity from the officials. My bad. 2-minute report. # my bad. And then you just taking points away from Tyler Hero. So 3-point swing, not a true loss. Knicks win streak is over in my eyes. They may tell you that they won 9 straight. They haven't won 9 straight. Gifted a win. Lunacy. What are we doing at this point? Hey man, just count the baskets that are supposed to count. That's it. Am I asking for something outrageous? I'm not trying to be a homer here. Count the baskets that are supposed to count.
If not for an incredible shot, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
All right. Well, thank you, Peter Pan. But grow up, and the shot did happen. And also, you know what else happened? They took away points from Tyler Hero.
Grow up, Peter Pan.
All right.
You love to live in. This happened. We wouldn't even be talking. Yeah, but we are. Guess what? We are.
No credit for just a great play.
Great play, buoyed by bloated math, which
Bloated
went to
math.
Miami Heat.
That wouldn't be bloated math. Bloated is when you get more.
No, but then they bloated by giving him free throws he wasn't supposed to get.
Oh, bloat it.
Took a Bones Jones shoulder right to the chops, and they called a foul on him. Like,
By the way, dude, I got to tell you, we have these fighters on. They go on to win championships. I don't know. I don't know. They should be knocking our door down.
That's true. That's true. Alexa Grasso is the new flyweight champion of the world. She was awesome. That fight was awesome, and she was down 2-1, and then Valentina Shevchenko threw the spinning kick, jumped on her like a spider monkey. Chip got that back. Tap, tap.
Hey, game planning for a kick.
Well, you say high kick. It wasn't a high kick, though.
It doesn't matter.
Well, now
A
you're changing the rules.
kick. A kick. If you know somebody's a kicker, you game plan accordingly.
Jumped on her like a spider monkey.
So she countered the kick. Go figure. Game planning. Watching. Oh, this is something she does.
It was a great move. She's the champ. Alexa Grasso, now a champion of the world. And then Jon Bones was.
He's just bigger, dominant, right? Bigger and dominant. Yeah.
He was like, he treated Ciryl Gane like a toy. It was embarrassing for Sir. I think it was an embarrassing fight for Ciryl Gane. How bad Jon dominated him. Played with him. Look at you. You're big.
Look, I got to tell you, you know that fight had the smell of out of sight, out of mind. The champ was away, so everybody in the division's like, I'm the champ. Forget him. Don't worry about him. He used to be good. And they kind of all treated that way. And I think he forgot how good Jon Jones is.
The thing that's crazy about it, though, is like, I always thought Jon was going to win. And my reasoning for it was because everybody's big worry was, well, he's been off for so long. And my counter to that was nobody's better equipped to come back from layoffs than Jon Jones.
He's done it his whole career.
He does it all the time.
He should have 30 fights. He should have 30 fights at this point in his career.
He always gets into trouble, and then he comes back. And usually his comebacks are the best version of him. It's usually after that you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
But he hadn't had a finish like that really since DC. So the DC rematch and the Gustafsson rematch, he really hadn't looked like that. A lot of decisions, a lot of not looking that great. He had one where there was an illegal knee, so he wasn't looking top notch, still getting wins, barely by, but not looking like, not looking like a wrecking machine. This was like, whoa. It was like that impressive for a fight to just end like that.
And he didn't have to think about this.
Choked him out up against the cage.
It's probably the first time in his career he's gone without having to cut weight.
Yeah.
So sure. I would wonder, man, we ask these fighters all the time. They are miserable when they have to weight cut. Miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And they deal with it because it's part of the game. But just imagine all of your career you've had to weight cut. And now you go into a fight, you train, you do everything you have to, no weight cut.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I mean, I think also just the idea of how strong he was in this fight. People were wondering about all these things about like cardio and, how's he going to deal with somebody that is a heavyweight of heavyweight strength? And I tell you how he dealt with it. He was stronger, a lot stronger than him.
Yeah,
and it was crazy. It was cool too because you don't get to see in the sport all the time guys who take that layoff and come back. They don't always look great, but he's the best. There's not a debate. He's the best to ever do it. There will be nobody ever better to do it. And now he's the heavyweight champ. Obviously, there's a big, shadow out there with Francis Ngannou being away from the sport. But Dana White came out this week and said he's banned. He's never coming back.
Wow.
Never coming back.
I feel like he said some similar things about Jon Jones, though, where I still leave the door open.
I leave the door open, too. I mean, listen, money will always talk. And if he goes out there and he beats Stipe, I don't really know what fight that's out there for him after that. But Dana White was very adamant that, no, I've been negotiating for a year. He's done. You're dead to me.
Now Stipe, huh?
Yeah. And the odds on Stipe, John was minus 200 opening odds. They're already minus, I think, 350 for John. People think Stipe is going to get killed.
I mean, we always think that, though, right? With Stipe. You always, he's the guy.
I mean, he's the best heavyweight ever.
Right, but I'm saying, but you're still going to all of his fights going, this is the time. He's but I can't, man, if you weren't excited about seeing Jon Jones back, hello.
It was crazy. What a performance. Not the biggest ass whooping over the weekend, though. You see what Sergei Bobrovsky did? Got after it, dude. You dirty hit our goalie. He'll whoop your ass.
2-1 filthy.
That's right, dude. Gave him a 2-piece, a 2-1 filthy right down the pipe. Boom! Gonna get a dirty shot on Bobrovsky. Boom! Beat you up. Got beat up with all that gear that he's wearing on. He could still throw clean punches. What the hell was that guy's name? Zucker? More like sucker. Sucker move, dude. With your cheap shot ass. Boom! Got beat up by Bobrovsky.
I like that. Toughness.
Yep.
Certainly easier to fight with all that equipment on.
Is it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, dude. You're walking around like a penguin.
You can't get hurt, though.
I mean, he didn't have his helmet on, but old Zucker, when someone's looking, he's got no shots to throw.
I hate that. That's the biggest, and all guys will tell you in sports, the biggest cowardly move is to hit a competitor when he ain't looking.
Especially the goalie. That's supposed to hit the goalie?
Now, who came to his defense?
Ekblad.
Okay.
Jumped right in there. But
Okay.
Bob got right after it, right in there, too. He didn't even want Ekblad. He's like, let me
Bob
at
said,
him.
hey, Ekblad, I got this.
I got this, dude. I got this. And then shout out to the Canes. They got to share the ACC title.
Share?
Yeah.
They split it with some? I thought they had it
They
outright.
split it with Virginia. And speaking of Virginia, the great Jon Crotty is going to join us later on this hour.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll
They
talk.
scoring
to
more than 47 points a game?
I think so. I think they've moved on a little bit.
Remember Virginia, oh no, Virginia's in the Final Four. The score's not going to get above 50.
Yep. So high stakes weekend. All in all, pretty good. The Heat did bounce back and beat the Hawks on Saturday. They needed that one, and they're back at it again tonight. Kyle Lowry, he remains out.
Lowry.
Spo won't even say if he's coming back this season. He's just like, he's making progress. What the hell does that mean?
But you sent a very important text.
We will get very likely the debut of Omer Yurtseven.
Who wouldn't be here if you had who wouldn't be here if you had your rathers?
No, I mean, listen.
Wait a minute.
I thought about it over the weekend.
Marcos, correct me if I'm wrong. Did he say ship Big Yurt out of here for Gogi?
Well, you know what?
Did you not say that?
Well, you said in your scenario, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. So I just played ball with you. But here's the thing.
Worst.
I saw Gogi sign up with the Bucks. He's wearing number 31. It's a little unbecoming. Ring chasing,
You're the worst.
Gogi.
Dude,
people call him the dragon. I call him the snake.
Hey.
Wow. Slithering.
Marcos?
Can't trust him.
He follows you, bro.
I told you this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I told you this is going to. This dude resets his hot takes according to what happens.
The Bucks think they're so cute. They think they're gonna
Oh,
reincarnate
hey.
the 2020 Heat that whooped their
Hey,
ass.
hey,
Here's the thing. Listen, D-Wade thought it was gonna work out in Cleveland too. Okay.
hey, don't try to plow through.
No. I'm telling you, listen, I love Omer Yurtseven. That's my guy.
You're just trying to plow through.
In fact, I was moved by
Move.
Omer. Yeah, I was moved.
Move.
I was moved,
Okay,
and
okay,
to
dude.
celebrate the season debut of Omer Yurtseven, I got into the lab.
Oh, watching you play just makes me cheer. You are taller than a tree, and you step back and hit a three. Now nothing can take you away from me. You'll be part of Miami's core, and teams will wonder how he can rebound and can score. Oh, man, you're all that I want. When you're flying right to the rim, I'm finding it hard to believe we got your 7. And give you a block if you need, and to break the backboard apart. Isn't it great to see Omega 7?
Can't wait to see Big Yurt tonight, baby! Back after this. Welcome back, everybody.
And it makes
Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock this morning. Jon Crotty going to join us in about 10 minutes. We will talk to the former Heat point guard, the current Miami Heat television analyst, alongside Eric Reed on Bally Sports Sun. You, of course, can watch them tonight as the Heat take on the Atlanta Hawks for the second of their little two-game set. We've gone baseball style here now. 7:30 tip-off from Miami-Dade Arena. So your coverage on Bally gets started at 7 o'clock with your coverage here starting at 6:15 with preheat. Alejandro Solana has you going. So looking forward to that and see if the Heat can get 2 here against the Atlanta Hawks. They need it. They need to keep racking up these wins. Do have some news that just came across, Leroy, along the Twitter landscape. It appears Derek Carr is closing in on a contract with your New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
Yup.
Wow.
All right. Thought he was walking off real quick from the news. I think that's a good call for the Saints, though, because who else is playing quarterback? You know, like
but
Yeah.
I would say the way they were talking in New York, that they were going to do everything they could to get him.
They were wowing him, right?
And I would say that, I'm always looking for the Saints to do well. But I would say if I'm a player and I had to pick what team is closest to me being successful, it's the New York Jets. So I'm wondering if this is not a money thing, because if it's just strictly I want to win, the Jets are much closer than the Saints.
But you made a good point last week with Aaron Rodgers about the NFC. Like, AFC's a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet, dude. And
Right.
and he was just in that. So
Right.
if you are looking at the Saints and you're thinking, got some nice weapons around, they do, they get their things straightened together. Not a very good division.
I would say that lends to it. Tom Brady being gone.
Yep.
And if the Saints were worth anything in their sales pitch, then that's a lot of things that we're talking about right now come up. Hey, Derek, look at this division, dude.
Very
Right?
interesting. This Aaron Rodgers decides to stay with the Packers.
Yeah.
What are the Jets gonna do? Are you turning to old Tannehill? Like, what's the next move?
Listen,
Got little Jimmy G.
we do this, and as a player who's going to make a lot of money anyway, no matter where you go, if you look at the options that Aaron Rodgers has, the best opportunity for him to win is with Green Bay. Because guess what? If you go to the AFC East, you got to deal with Buffalo. You got to deal with the Dolphins, and New England. For some reason, no matter who they play with, they always cause. Yeah.
You can't kill them.
What other division is like that other than the division he just left and pooped a bit? Then, if you get through that, you got to deal with Patrick Mahomes. You got to deal with all the quarterbacks out west. So, yeah. But when you look at, look at the NFC. Who you dealing with? Aaron Rodgers is the stud of the conference. So, yeah, I the more I think about it, the more I say, now, if he does leave and go to New York, he'll just say, I needed a change.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because he's not going to say, I wanted to put myself in the best position to win. Because, dude, as a quarterback, you have been in the best position of any quarterback in the last 15 years to win a championship. There's nobody who's been in a better situation.
All right, we'll get back into it in an hour to the news that looks like Derek Carr is going to be heading to the Saints. But we'll flip back to some hardwood as Jon Crotty, he has the call tonight of Heat and Hawks.
My guy.
We'll talk to our guy, Jon Crotty. He joins us next.
This is 15 minutes of your Miami Heat.
15 minutes of heat here for you on 560 WQAM. Heat right back at it on the hardwood tonight against the Atlanta Hawks after beating Atlanta this weekend, 117-109. That, of course, coming after a crushing, and I mean crushing defeat to the New York Knicks, 122-120. We'll talk some Miami Heat right here with your Miami Heat television analyst from Bally Sports Sun. You can, of course, watch that tonight on Bally Sports Sun. Pre-game starting at 7 o'clock. John Crotty has the call alongside Eric Reed. John joining us here on the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 1,500 Toyotas indoors at one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. John, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Hey, guys. How you doing this morning?
You tell me, how are you doing with the way the season has gone up and down? And I can hear on the call how frustrated you get just from being a former player. Like, there's no consistency, and you're like, How do you feel?
Yeah, it's been a challenge at times, right? Step forward, a step back. I think inconsistency is a great way to put it, Leroy. I mean, I think early on, you could point to a lot of bodies and injuries, guys being out, but that hasn't been the case as of late, as we've had a really healthy group with the exception of Kyle Lowry. I think the biggest head scratcher for me has been the 3-point shooting. It's really strange because you would look to, all right, maybe there's been some personnel changes. All right, maybe we're not getting the same shots, but we've had predominantly the same guys and shooters, right? And then you look at the quality of the shots we're getting. Are they good shots? And that's the coaching staff's job. And I think they've done a good job. They're getting open threes. And they just haven't made them to the point where they were number one in the league in percentage a year ago. And, they're like 28th or something now out of 30 teams. Obviously that analytic really matters when you get that extra point on those makes.
Is this? I've said this over and over again. I've never seen a team lead the league in a stat like that and then be bottom of the league that quick with the same players. It just doesn't happen. Like a bad season would be if you fall down to the middle of the pack,
right? Not
the bottom. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I mean you would typically think it would be injury driven, right? Your key 3-point shooters are out. Or a personnel change of some sort. So that's the thing to me that I, and I pride myself as an analyst at looking at this stuff and trying to figure out, all right, this is why this is happening. That's my, my job. But it's honestly, it's very hard to explain. It really is, because the quality of the shots, I think, are still there.
John, after the loss to the New York Knicks, Jimmy had some comments about, what the team has been going through this year. I'm going to play it for our audience, and I don't know if you heard it or not, but I'm sure you did, because Spo addressed it. But this is what Jimmy had to say after the loss to the Knicks.
I mean, I'm at a point now, I think everybody is, where it doesn't surprise us. We really get bored with the process, and I can't tell you why. And, we play hard, and sometimes we get back in the game like we did tonight, and sometimes we don't. But either way it goes, if we just play basketball the right way the entire game, I don't think that we're in that situation more often than not. But for some odd reason, we think it's going to be easy, so we just go out there and go through the motions.
What did you make of Jimmy's comments, John, about just getting bored with the process of their kind of up and downness that they've struggled with this year?
Yeah, I mean, look, I hear frustration in his voice. I think he's a guy who does play hard and leaves it out there every single game, to his credit. So I hear frustration there. I mean, there's nothing else that I hear. And frankly, I want my star guys feeling it. I want them to take pride in winning. I want them to, voice, hey, look, this isn't good. We don't want to lose. I think the idea that we got to play harder, this is the stretch run, and to galvanize everyone together is important. At the end of the day here, you can have all the scheming, all the systems you want. It comes down to the guys in the room being able to pull together and play hard to be competitive, however you got to do it to win.
You think Jimmy has to be more direct, and just start, I'm not saying in public, but behind closed doors at practice during the game, start calling guys out to hold them accountable, or because it seems like everybody just makes the assumption that everybody else is going to do the right thing, and when it doesn't happen, we hear stuff like this from Jimmy or other players, saying we need to do this or we're not doing that. But you got to kind of hold each other accountable with that.
Yeah, no, I think Leroy, I do think he's the kind of guy who's doing that every day anyway.
Right.
He's not one to bite his tongue and check himself that way. I think he goes after guys too, in terms of actually in practice the way he plays, not just verbally. So I think that's there. I think, part of it is just collectively continuing to hold the course. Here's the thing, guys. I mean, even with the frustration of where we're at, they're in a playoff position.
Mm-hmm.
They're going there. There's a situation now where when I was looking at the standings here, you got Brooklyn, who is kind of in a free fall because of all the personnel changes they've made. If you're trying to get yourself into the top 6, so you're not in that play-in game. If you're in the 7th or 8th seed, you're in that position where you have, major, potential slippage if you get into a play-in game where anything can happen, right? You have a guy roll an ankle and all of a sudden it's a 1-2 game thing and you're out before you even get a chance to get into the playoffs. If you're in 6th, now you're locked in, you have a 7-game series against somebody. I think that's the major goal. I think that's what everyone's playing for right now, is just to get in up above that number and lock it in. Not going to be easy, but to me, defensively is where they got to focus. It's not the sexiest thing. They're not the highest scoring team. In fact, they're the lowest scoring team in the league. So they got to focus. You're not going to overnight flip the switch on that. You got to be even nastier defensively. They've had, before the last win against Atlanta, the previous 3 first halves were giving up 70 or more points in that first half. That's not Miami Heat basketball. You got to be tougher and nastier on the defensive end. Technique-wise, you got to control the guy that has the ball, be accountable to your teammates there and locked in to guard that guy hard. And, that was not happening. And to me, right now, that's what they can control, the defensive end. Obviously, you're continuing to work and try to be smoother on the offensive end, but it's like you're not going to go from 30 to first, right? You may move incrementally. Defensively is where you can be more consistent and win games.
You were mentioning this on the broadcast with Eric, because Bam had a really nice offensive game against the Hawks, and he, he's been playing fine, but not quite to his all-star level. So it was great to see that. And I thought Tyler had a really great weekend too. Great game against the Knicks, and then a great fourth quarter against Atlanta. Those two guys, John, just getting back on that consistent offensive track, how much smoother do you think that will make things?
Yeah, I think it makes it in a big time way. And I'm talking about Bam first. Bam, to me, played and deserved to be an all-star this year. He's been outstanding, and he's become a consistent 20-point, 10-rebound guy, which is awesome. And then he does so much more in regards to defending and also facilitating as a guy who can look over top and make plays, or as a dribble handoff guy. But he really got away from doing a lot of the dirty work and some of the hustle plays, I thought, during that losing streak, and can't really put a finger on why, but it just, he clearly, the coaching staff definitely, got back to him on that. And I thought we saw the Bam that had been an all-star all year long in that Atlanta game, scoring the basketball, rebounding the basketball, being able to set up guys, and then defensively with a couple of steals or blocks. He was outstanding.
John, have you ever gone?
And then you talk about Tyler too. Let me just jump in on Tyler. Tyler has to be that guy, I think, who continues to play with confidence down the stretch. And we saw that against Atlanta. 22 points, he and Bam being able to make plays down the stretch. Tyler has just such ignitability that way, guys. When our offense is stagnant, he and Jimmy tend to be the guys who really get us going.
Have you ever been in a situation where you were playing your best basketball and it just fell off a cliff to where you couldn't make a shot, you couldn't do the things you normally do in a basketball court? And what did you do to turn it around? Because, like you said, the shots are there. They're getting the same open shots. They're just not making them.
Yeah, well, from beyond the arc, I agree. I've had those situations as a guard. You can go through streaks where you're not, you're missing shots because it's a lot harder. Obviously, you can't get easy baskets, you can't get tip-ins and easy layups. You're 6'2" going against 7-footers trying to finish at the rim, so it becomes a lot more challenging. So, the way I always tried to look at it is, you do the other little things. You make the hustle plays defensively if you can get some stops. And this has been part of Miami's recipe and formula all year long. You get the stops, you force turnovers, which Miami was number one in the league at for a while. Now you're jump starting your offense, right? You're getting numbers in transition on the break. You're getting those 3-on-2, 2-on-1 runouts, and you're not working against an opposing 5-man, connected half-court defense. You have them on their heels, and you're able to get easier baskets. And for an offense that has struggled being able to score the ball, being able to get 15 to 20 something points a game in transition is really, really important.
John, what have you made early impressions of Kevin Love and his insertion into the starting lineup since they got him in here, and I guess the trickle down has just had on the team?
Yeah, I like what Kevin Love brings because I think he's a bona fide three-point shooting threat along with Bam, where he can stay outside. Bam can be on the interior as the paint guy. It's really, to me, when I think about it, when you think about a pairing in the front court, I think he's really brings more than any other guy that Bam's played. I mean, you could look at like a Myers Leonard or someone like that, but he's not quite as skilled and certainly doesn't have the resume of a Kevin Love. So I like that Kevin Love's a 3-point shooter. I love his rebounding ability. The numbers he puts up is amazing. He's a great positional rebounder. What's been fun for me is watching him on his outlet passes. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but the way he takes it off the glass, and it's allowed Miami to play a little bit faster and get some easier baskets too. But the way he'll make that half court, 3/4 court pass as a chest pass, which is impressive. And then, along those lines, Brendan, I would say, Cody Zeller too. I mean, I've been really impressed with what he's been able to bring because frankly, he hadn't played the entire year. So I thought there might be a workup, of having to get him into some level of shape, but he's come in and just plays so hard. He's given the team a great lift. I thought Caleb Martin and he in the last game against Atlanta were critical. Our bench, has struggled at times being able to score with Victor coming back from the injury and not really getting back to his offensive self. So, the scoring and those types of, tangible production is really much needed.
Yeah, that's been my favorite part of it because I feel like Caleb just feels like Caleb is having a nice season, but obviously was doing a role that's not the most comfortable thing for him. He looks just so much more at home now, being like that just all energy, all out, just type of guy to just provide a spark.
Yeah, I mean, he's truly a wing player, and he was having to guard guys that were, he's like 6'5", about 205, 210 pounds. He's guarding 6'10", 250-pound guys on a regular basis. It just beats the hell out of you. Yeah. So, it was hard for him to kind of get to his speed game. But it's not easy also being a starter and getting those kind of minutes, and you can kind of pace yourself and find, your opportunities. Now he's coming in off the bench, and it's just, all out all the time. And he runs that wing well. I think he's, one of our best finishers when you get it to him in transition, when he comes off that line, just coming on top of the basket with that right hand dunk. He's been a very consistent, one of our best 3-point shooters throughout the course of the year as well. So I think he's fit in extremely well, and he obviously can guard multiple positions, which is just so valuable from a coaching staff perspective.
Before we get you out of here, John, the other piece of news, it looks like we may be getting the debut of Omer Yurtseven tonight. A couple big games in the G League. It looked like they were going to have a nice role cut out for him this year, John, whatever it was going to be. Yeah. Do you see that being the case when he comes back? Because, like you said, Cody Zeller has been playing great. So I don't know where, Spo will find the minutes. He always calls these first-class problems. But, what do you think Omer can bring just kind of being dropped with, a dozen and a half regular season games left? What can we expect from him?
Well, the thing that's been so it's a shame, right? Because I had similar thoughts where, it'd have been great to give him an opportunity to play with Bam more and see how they sync up, because he does have 3-point shooting ability. Now, he's not the three-point shooter that Kevin Love is by any stretch, but to me, he has that capability. And we saw what he could do rebounding the ball last year when Bam had that thumb issue and was out, an extended period of time. He came in. He set a rookie record for double-figure rebounding games. He was outstanding, and he could finish in the paint. He's got nice touch, and he's just naturally very long and athletic. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how he's worked into the rotation. It's going to be a bit challenging. He's behind the curve there, but I think, look, give him credit for coming back from the injury and playing now in the G League the way he did. He's handled it extremely well. I think he's shown that he's got the skill set. I think the hardest thing for him right now will be, every one of these games is so important for Miami. It's not easy for the coaching staff to really think about Omer as much as just the team and trying to do what's best for the team. And Zeller is playing at such a high level. I think it will be hard to inject him into that lineup.
Appreciate the time, John. Thanks so much. We'll see you at the arena tonight.
Thanks, John.
There you go. John Crotty. Catch him tonight with Eric Reed on Bally Sports Sun. 7 o'clock is when their coverage gets going. We, of course, have a 7:30 tip-off from Miami-Dade Arena. And you, of course, can listen to that game right here on 560 WQAM. Solano will get you going with preheat at 6:15. We will take a break. Hour 2 coming on up. Some NFL moves going down. It appears that Derek Carr has a new home. We'll tell you about it next.
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Valoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Chris Sims can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour two of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Wow. How about this? It's Mike McDaniel's birthday, y'all.
Oh, boy.
Man, I got to tell you, a lot of people
boy.
with the Dolphins, you know,
boy.
their parents were having sex at the same time.
I'm a big snack time guy.
What?
Yeah, dude. I mean, they were conceived calendar-wise. They were conceived around the same time. A lot of lovemaking was going on in Dolphins land 10 months prior to, you know, the kids being born. How about that? We've had, in the last 5 days, Tyreek Hill, Tua, Javon Holland, Mike McDaniel, birthdays.
What?
Pisces on Pisces, dude. Is it still Pisces season?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's
The-
till March 20th.
The water
Attaboy.
star, you know? And where do Dolphins live? The water.
So you're saying it's meant to be?
It is meant to be. That is what I'm saying. You know what?
So a Pisces should naturally want to play for the Dolphins.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Can
Yeah,
I just say something?
Think about all this Dolphins birth.
You come up with some stuff now.
Yep. Agreed.
And you're gonna keep going with that.
I mean, like, I'm not going with anything. I'm just going with the stars.
the stars.
Yeah.
Classic.
So did everybody look outside to see Venus and Jupiter?
Jupiter?
No.
You can see the two planets.
Yeah.
My
Which
neighbor
you-
thought those were two slow moving planes. I'm like,
Um,
that's funny, idiot. They're not moving.
Did you call it like a UFO though?
Because I didn't know what it was.
so now who's the idiot?
I'm just saying.
Well, hold on. It was unidentifiable until I got the facts on what it was.
Yeah.
True. Wasn't flying though.
You didn't know? Wait a minute. You guys are sitting here talking to me like
Didn't
you
realize
knew
you
what
were-
it was.
All right, calm down, Galileo.
What would Socrates say to that?
Dude's out here like the Hubble telescope. Oh yes, what is that?
No one cares. The box
So-
score doesn't.
Yeah. What is your favorite constellation?
What?
The Big Dipper guy, Little Dipper, Orion.
It's only two I know. Okay. Aren't all the signs like like Pisces has a constellation if I'm not mistaken?
Does it?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, let's see.
Hold on.
Most.
Can I just say this?
Really hope it does.
Let's stop now.
All right.
Because we're heading to a place. We're going down the road of stupidity.
Pisces does have stars.
Boom. We're
What about,
going. We're going down the path of stupidity.
What are you talking about?
We're dipping our toe in the
I
area.
don't think Aquarius guy. You like Aquarius?
Let me look at that one. That's all right.
Yep.
Leo, the Leo constellation kind of looks like a clothes hanger. So I like that one.
Is this supposed to be a lion?
Yeah, well, whatever.
Oh God.
Let's get to some headlines here brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
All right. If you guys are just tuning in and not heard the news, it appears Derek Carr is heading to the New Orleans Saints.
How much you think he gets? 3 years, 100 million guaranteed.
Wow, that is a lot of money for Derek.
No, it's
Carr.
not.
I guess it's
No,
not.
it's not.
You see what Daniel
Wait
Jones.
a minute.
Yeah, but
Wait a minute. 30 $33 million for a quarterback, a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Really?
For a guy who
Daniel
just got
Jones. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is asking for 45.
which is crazy.
Yeah. Saw JPP yesterday. Has nothing to do with this. I apologize.
Well, you just saw him like in public?
He's at the Improv.
Oh.
Are you? I think you. Okay.
You had to shake left?
How's he doing?
He's doing fine, guys. It's been a long time. He's been a champion since then, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
true.
Yeah.
He was kind enough to sign a DVD that a coworker had. Just walks around
Like
with
the Giants championship
Giants
DVD?
championship DVD.
I loved having the Marlins championship DVD back in the day, but I didn't feel like the Heat one I watched, I think, on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't even think I got the Heat one.
It was a thing of the past for sure.
I don't think it's it's not a thing.
Do you
anymore.
have a DVD player? Do you guys have?
I still have one in my closet.
Oh, okay. So,
but I don't have it hooked up.
Bust it out, huh?
Yeah,
We still have one.
Wow, that's impressive.
What about
Well,
a VCR? You got a
sometimes
VCR
when-
anywhere in the house?
VCR.
Well, no, because sometimes when Rebecca has people over, they'll put up a screen and put the projection, and they'll play in the pool and watch the movie.
Gotcha.
So you got to have the DVD player to play it.
All right. No VCR though, right?
No, God, no.
No. Remember when you had the VCR converter for like the mini tapes that you have from your camcorder?
I remember when I had the DVD converter, and you would put your tapes and convert the tapes to DVDs.
Yep.
Wow.
What a time.
What a time.
What a
indeed.
time to be alive, all you whippersnappers out there.
They tried to trick us with Blu-ray though. I never got on that.
Blu-ray.
What? Get out of
They're
here.
still trying that nonsense.
get outta
Yeah,
here.
Blu-ray, it's better class.
It's the same.
Y'all don't remember the big ones.
Blu-ray.
Used to get the movies on like big, I forgot what they were called. Look like records, but they were movies.
Are we to assume now? Do you assume more likely or less likely that Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets now that Derek Carr?
Because
they really tried souping that up, where they're like, Derek Carr, you're going to be a Hall of Famer, if you win with the Jets. And now, and by the way, this Aaron Rodgers, he said we're going to get a decision soon. Well, when the hell are we doing it, dude? Let's go.
Dude, it's 10 o'clock on Monday.
Come on.
Where he is.
Exactly. You got to have the darkness.
So here's the deal.
Well, that's good.
So a lot of times when Aaron Rodgers, I think, is trying to make this decision, he wants to make a decision that not only he can justify, but that looks good, right? And how you go about it or how you approach it. And like I said before, he can't go to the Jets and say, I feel the Jets give me the best opportunity to win, because that's a lie. The actual team that gives them the best opportunity to win and has given you the best opportunity to win is the Green Bay Packers. So if he comes out and says, I think it was time for a change, I think it was time for me to move on, they got a young quarterback, and I'm just, if he does that, understandable. But for the last 10 or 15 years, you've had several seasons where you were 13-3, 14-2, 12-4.
Yeah, but not this last season. They weren't very good.
No, they weren't very good last season. But the team over the course of your career that has given you the best opportunity to win has been the Green Bay Packers. And you can say what you want about who they have with them, what talent they put around them. The fact of the matter is they're winning football games, and some of those games were his fault as to why they didn't win.
That's fine, but I would say for his standpoint, like if you were to look at it and say, well, there was a difference of game between the Jets and the Packers. The Jets had a top 5 defense this year. Like,
correct.
He's going to go and look at that and say, now I do agree. Like going to the AFC is a tougher road to hoe if you're going to try and get to the Super Bowl.
And in Green Bay, when you do something wrong, everybody's singing Kumbaya. That ain't the case in New York.
Oh no, you got firemen.
I don't care how much money you make. You ain't gonna be able to go into a room and just say, relax.
Yeah, this guy's out here. He's losing games and he's got the ayahuascas, and I just don't like it. I'll hang up and listen.
But think about it. So you also got to be ready to deal for that. You think you calm, cool, and collective with every situation, and you could just go out and tell me, hey, relax, we got this. That don't fly in New York.
By the way, is there just a fan base that you have to do the least for to get over hyperventilating more than the New York Knicks fan? Like you have one 9-game win streak and you think you won the championship.
They're
It
so
really is
obnoxious,
incredible.
dude.
By the
They're
way,
so obnoxious.
hey, by the way, you
What
think
about-
they don't listen down here and say the same thing about you?
Well, if they are, I just want them to I just want to tell them all just to go to hell.
I mean, but you do the same thing.
Nah, I don't do the same thing.
It kind of
dude.
makes sense. Boston fans, they're annoying, but they've had success.
Yeah, not much success though.
Not
I mean,
much,
like like pipe down.
I'm not even talking about Celtics. I'm just talking about the area.
Oh
in
yeah,
general.
yeah, a lot of championships.
Same thing with Philly, the Eagles, whatever. Who cares? They're annoying, but whatever. Success. The Knicks. What the hell are you even?
Like,
what are you even?
but here's the thing that's crazy about it. Like the New York Knicks, like the Bucks win streak just got snapped. What was it? 17 straight, 16, 17 straight.
Yep.
The Knicks got to half that,
so
and look
true.
how it's being treated compared to the
So
Bucks.
true. I didn't even know the Bucks
Half
got
that.
to 14 before I even knew.
That's crazy. Like they're so excited. Yes, I can't wait to talk about the Mecca, bro. And you shouldn't have won that game. You had a game gifted to you because the entire league is out to support you. It's ridiculous.
Really?
Heroes out here. He's
You know-
he's inches in bounds. They're taking points away. Julius Randle, he was allowed to rabbit punch Bam Adebayo and get a shot off. Should have been an offensive foul.
So you don't think that the Knicks are any good?
I think they're decent, but let's not act like they're God's gift to basketball. How many times are we going to do this? The same thing 2 years ago. And Julius Randle, they wanted him ousted from the team.
Oh, now that's funny. That's funny. That's funny that Julius Randle, if he wasn't on the team to start this season, all those same Knicks fans would have been happy.
Last year, RJ Barrett is the truth. Now he's an afterthought. We love Quickly. RJ, what? Who cares? We got Quickly. You're gonna learn quickly.
Isn't that the epitome of fans, though? The ebbs and flows of fans is who played well that night.
But their entitlement to getting good basketball, and then what they think is good basketball, is crazy. You know what I mean? Like the Heat were basically in the same standing point 3 weeks ago. Everybody in this town was calling the Heat bums for being 7 over. The Knicks do it. They're like, ticker tape parade. It's ridiculous how they act.
I just find it hilarious that I'm more than sure they say the same thing about you.
What do you mean?
You don't overdo it a little bit?
Bro, how deep you get deep into the playoffs one time on this turn of the century?
Okay. Agreed.
One time.
Agreed. That
They
you
got
have
one
you
playoff-
have hey, you
one
have
playoff win.
you have more of a basis to feel that way. But all in all, you do the same thing.
No, I don't do the same.
Oh my goodness, dude. You know we boys, right? You know we've done the show for a while. Oh, whoa, what was that?
I feel like you've been going at me pretty hard lately. You haven't acted.
You because I'm going hard at you. Come on.
You call me a flip flopper with Omer Yurtseven.
What? You
No,
wanted?
what's wrong?
Hold on. You did say ship him out for Gogi.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't know Gogi. I didn't think that the Gogi thing was really going to happen. We're just doing a radio.
You didn't
bit.
say that though.
Omer's my guy.
Oh my!
Go to the
Look,
song.
So that sounds like the New York Knicks talking about Julius Randle.
That's not true.
Really?
Julius Randle, they were saying, was better than Chris Bosh, who was in the building, by the way, on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw him.
See him?
Yeah.
I love CB.
Yeah, man. Good
Yep.
vibes.
Good vibes, dude.
Good
Good vibes. Miss him.
I saw that they're playing the Harlem Shake video in the stadium or in the arena. I'm not sure if it's because Chris Bosh was there to remind him.
It was like 10 years this week when they first released it.
That's good vibes as well.
That's good vibes, dude.
It's all around good vibes.
Yep.
Minus that
Julius Randle. You're cheating Julius Randle out here, getting wins for that they don't deserve. It's like Tim Donaghy all over again.
All right.
Tyler Hero even called it out on Twitter. So that's horrible when he saw the video of it. Horrible. Tyler doesn't he doesn't tweet like that. Had to be known.
Now, question. Did it have something to do with him stepping out of bounds, or did it have something to do with him going out of bounds and coming back in?
No, he didn't step out of bounds. The guy said that he stepped out of bounds. He wasn't even close.
Okay.
Because the guy is an idiot. Or also is in the Knicks' pocket. Tough to know.
Oh.
Tough to know. Hard to say.
You are relentless.
Maybe it's that same spotter that said Teddy Bridgewater was a little wobbly. Huh?
Yeah, you can't trust these New York officials. That's a little too, I don't know, corrupt.
All right.
Something amiss about it. You don't think they love this ratings boom from these idiot Knicks fans?
So, boots on the ground.
Yeah, boots on the ground tonight.
What are you expecting tonight? It does seem like Atlanta coming to town is a get right moment because they seem to have Atlanta's number as far as
they play Atlanta well. They both were playing second night of a back-to-back. Trae Young and DeJounte Murray were terrible.
Terrible.
They did cut it to 5.
Hey, as Robbie would say, the South Beach flu, baby.
I don't think they had time. I think that they were just now. I would say South Beach
because that Saturday, what they had a whole day.
I would expect one of them to have a much better game. I don't know about both of them, but one of them is going to have a much better game. I mean, we do know that Gabe Vincent stuffs Trae Young into a locker, so that's what he does.
All right.
But I love seeing what Crotty was talking about. I love seeing what we got from Bam. Tyler was great against the Knicks. Great against the Knicks. That was one of his better games of the season. It's tough that it went in a loss. They stole it from him.
It's pretty amazing because every time we see him be aggressive, you can kind of get a feel that it's his moment. But he should probably do that a little bit more, knowing that you don't have that shooting. So him and Jimmy have to be the catalyst behind pushing the issue. And I just wish he would do it more instead of we're past the point in the season where everybody get a feel for what's going on. He's feeling this way, trying to figure out, No, you got to go. And between him and Jimmy and Bam, look, they got to do it.
We'll take a quick break. You guys can text the show at 305-567-0560. Before we hit the break, though, want to let you guys know Dave & Buster's month is back just in time for the Hoops Tournament Hysteria. We've got your chance to win a $250 gift card from Dave & Buster's. Just go to WQAM.com and enter on the contest page. If you win, you can go to Dave & Buster's with your gift card and have a nice little party. All on us and Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood.
Busy sports.
Finally, number 5, J-Fig.
August?
Oh. And finally, number 5, J-Fig.
August?
Oh, let me tell you something.
Whoa.
I'm rats off a ship on August.
Rats off a ship.
Really?
Game 6.
Worst month in the entire calendar year. It's the end of summer. Okay. Stinks. It's the hottest. Start of hurricane season. No holidays. What do they have? What do we have? Arbor Day in August? We don't have anything in August. Stinks.
That doesn't count.
Dude, August can kick the sharpest of rocks. Rats off a ship on August. Sorry to anyone born in August, but your month stinks.
August is not an important month.
Marcos, August, rats off a ship.
Let me just preface this with my eyes are sweating if you see any sort of water. I was born in August.
Wait, he did.
No.
He did.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Oh, wow, this is exciting. The Renaissance Festival is back, dude. Oh, baby. We've got 4 packs of tickets for you. All you got to do is you got to visit with the lords and ladies and take part in an axe throwing contest, archery, tests of strength, and more. You guys can enjoy a turkey leg and visit the Pickle Man. That's a guy, the Pickle Man, dude.
Say what?
Oh, the Pickle Man.
All right.
All
Who
right.
the hell's the Pickle Man?
I don't know.
You don't know about the Pickle Man, dude? Listen, they used to call me the Pickle Man.
Okay.
Never mind. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
For your chance to win, go to WQAM.com and enter. We've got 4 packs galore.
Oh, boy.
Too bad these didn't start last week, so I can talk about the fat bum who will never win an NBA championship, James Harden.
It's gonna be a good couple weeks because I'm sure these promos will be good.
Man, I was excited. Did you guys see the hype videos this week for the Canes? Canes being in practice this week. Spring ball, dude. Spring ball. Changing of the seasons. New era is upon us here for Mario Cristobal.
Yeah.
I was excited.
You
dude.
mean a new era? Because the new era was last year.
Well,
And,
you know,
my ass.
had to
No.
clean it out.
No.
Very exciting.
You just
Very
How
exciting.
do you just forget?
Oh, it's turning of the season. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Dwell? That's what the
No,
Pickle Man
no,
does.
no. But what I like to do is I like to try to figure out how things are going to get better. And you just assume they're going to get better.
You have a little Mario Cristobal, Marcos. This was him on how the players are just new offense with Shannon Dawson. You got Lance Guidry, new defense. You got Jason. By the way, to talk about this, Jason Taylor's now on the staff officially.
Yeah.
How about that, Leroy?
Yeah, Leroy.
Leroy.
He wasn't committed enough, huh?
I never said he wasn't.
Kind of did.
I said that is the determining factor whether these guys take a bigger role with these organizations.
Here was Mario on Saturday after the Canes started spring practice.
Well, I think football is football. Sometimes it's called, apples, sometimes oranges. So I think for day one, you're probably where you feel you should be. And let's call it what it is. You're going to play, your 12 opponents. You better use your spring better than they use it to have a chance to be successful on game day. So that's been very much a strong theme for our guys. They've done well. They've attacked it, and we've got to stay on it. Look, the best thing we could be is very real. And for Miami to make steps to keep getting better and work towards what we want to be, the stuff that we do is very hard. And when it doesn't go exactly well, you keep coming. And when it gets harder, you just keep coming, and eventually it'll pop. And we're in that mode right now. So far, so good, and expect our guys to attack it even more so in the coming week.
Was Keith Hernandez?
Were you listening with your silly ears? Because because I could tell when he started talking.
Nothing gets the engine revved up for Mario Cristobal quite like spring ball.
and I'm and you tell me to grow up, Peter Pan. Really? Oh,
Peter Pan.
Wow.
I just need you to explain the first. I'm just gonna stop it.
What do you want us to do? You want to talk about it's gonna pop, or do you want to talk about how football's like apples and oranges?
I wouldn't know. That's
Well, I think football is football. Sometimes it's called, apples, sometimes oranges. So
Yeah.
Okay, so football is football. Sometimes it's called apples. Sometimes it's called oranges.
I think what he's saying is it's going smoothie,
Oh, wow.
That's what he's saying.
Point for Tobin.
I have learned a long time ago that to just let these coaches talk. Don't read into it too much.
If you
It's
listen to
spring
Mario,
ball, you're months away from an actual football game.
oh, dude, you didn't. Okay, clearly you weren't listening because he said
You weren't listening either because
you
you
gotta
started
use-
chuckling.
Well, listen, I didn't know if he was talking about practice or if he was writing erotica by the end of it. That being said, you got to use your spring better than they use their spring, dude.
You got to do it.
Why this is so difficult for me to accept is because with the large number of turnover that this team is going to have, a lot of those guys aren't even here yet.
A lot of guys are there, though. They've gotten a lot of attendance, dude.
Yep.
It's like a produce section. A lot of apples and oranges.
-1.
Dave South says he was talking about the new terminology with new systems, you jackasses. You can always tell, like, you're always silly with Dave South, but if you mess with his Canes, he's not about the silly sauce.
He's very
antsy about this team being good again. And listen, Mario Cristobal sounds very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Again, my biggest concern with this team is there's a lot of things you have to change. Those guys are going to get here in the fall or in the summer. So if most of the guys aren't here yet and you have a lot of guys leaving, how important can this be now is probably going to be more important when they start camp for the season, when everybody's here and you can actually figure out who's going to replace who.
I think a lot of people get here, though, man. I think times have changed. I think like a lot of people get in. Yeah. It's like everybody gets in early. They do their thing. You know,
no, but they're not done with when you have transfer portal. Do they transfer like right after football season or do they transfer in this fall?
I think you transfer right away if you want to. You get the hell out of there.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
that's like where I think that's where I'm getting confused because, you know, there's a lot of players coming in to fix what he said has ailed them.
Here's Mario Cristobal on the O line, which, you know, listen.
2-1 filthy.
Don't get TVD
2-1 filthy.
Here's Cristobal.
But what really stands out, right, to say is the mass and athleticism and power in the offensive line, right? That really sticks out. I think when, you know, Elijah Roy is going to heal up good. He's a big dude now. And when you watch the way Jaleel has grown and you watch Cam McCormick, you know, in his 8th year, you guys keep saying his 10th year. It's not his 10th year. It's his 8th year. Cam McCormick, Riley Williams, Jackson Carver, Dom's a little bit banged up. This is a very big and talented physical group of tight ends, which is going to be really good for us.
Love a good tight end.
He has a college player
Mm-hmm.
that is in his 8th year.
Yeah, I had to look that up too.
What?
Yeah, well, don't forget a lot of this stuff got weird with the pandemic. People got extra eligibility.
8 years?
8 years,
He's
dude.
32 years old at
Yes.
this point, dude.
Why are you guys judging? He doesn't have to leave if he doesn't want to.
He's gonna
Is he in med school?
I don't know. No, he was at Oregon, but he's so he knows him from there. But he's now in Miami.
I mean, he might be older than some of the graduate assistants.
So what? Let him let him bring us some experience to the table.
It's not the NFL, dude. It's college. You
Nah,
can't be the same age as your coach.
What do you mean?
Jeez, he was a freshman in 2016, dude. What are we talking about?
That's incredible.
So he's as old as our show. His college career.
Wow.
His college career is the same age as our show.
Got that grown man strength.
Because he's a grown ass man. He probably got like 2 kids and got the daycare and stuff like that.
Well, that was like the punter. That was like Lou Headley, who's not here anymore. Is he gonna get drafted? I hope he does, dude.
Why wouldn't he? I mean, didn't he damn near lead the country in?
He's got a boot.
He's gonna find a way to stay in college.
I mean, he still ain't gonna be older than this guy.
2016.
Wow. So 18.
Is he allowed to stay on campus?
He's like, dude, he's like 25, 26 years old.
That's crazy.
I mean, he's older than John Morant.
Oh man, John Morant.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. We got to actually take a break. Get to Leroy's game balls and game bums of the weekend. That's next. This guy's a ball. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Man, we got a lot of stuff we're giving away here, man. A lot of stuff we're giving away on WQAM. But if it was done last week, you guessed wrong, because we've got your chance to the biggest weekend in metal music.
Oh,
Rockville is coming to Daytona Beach May 18th to the 21st. And we'll give away 2 passes for the entire weekend, plus a camping pass, because J Fig loves to camp.
she does.
You know,
She does.
if there's things we know about J Fig, she loves tents,
Yep.
canteens, and lamps and lanterns.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's what you use for camping, dude.
That's the thing that
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
And she's gonna be able to camp where?
At Rockville.
Oh,
You can be there to see Tool, Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold, Salmon Breath, Pantera, Rob Zombie, and a whole lot more. Enter now on the Odyssey. Yeah, Salmon Breath.
Did you have a bad situation recently that you come up with the name Salmon Breath?
Salmon Breath, Rockville. If you guys want to win tickets to Rockville, log in and listen to WQAM on the Odyssey app, or go to WQAM.com. For every hour that you listen, you get another entry into the contest to win those tickets to Rockville. So be listening, pile up your chance to win. For every hour you go, more chances. You know it all, man. Rockville's at Daytona Beach, and those tickets are courtesy of Rockville. Leroy, what do we got today for game balls and game bums?
So my game balls, I got 3 of them. Okay.
wow.
It's gonna go to that UFC card.
No.
Alexa Grasso killed it.
Champ.
Killed big time underdog. Had her on the show.
You guys got the magic touch, man.
Yep.
Made a stud tap.
Yep.
Not we talking about somebody who was dominant in women's MMA.
Valentina was the longest reigning champ to date, so she now falls.
That
All of
chokehold, dude. Did you see Joe Rogan breaking it down? How like it completely, her face was a different color.
Yeah, she turned purple.
It was
it was crazy.
What a lock, dude.
Ciryl Gane, he was like, I'm not dealing with this. As soon as John got the lock, he's like, tap machine.
And Jon Jones, welcome back.
Yep.
We always make a big deal about you coming back. And this time, we didn't see a tickle match. You got after it.
Or at least
Ragdoll.
And then, I don't know who this Bo Nickel is.
Oh, Buffalo.
But he's working his way up the list. You say he's going to be a good one.
He looks like the real deal.
He made easy, but this was a get right fight. He still.
And then you had Shavkat Rakhmonov with the standing.
What happened to the canceled fight?
Canceled fight. What canceled?
There was a canceled fight. Hold on, I got it here.
What was the guy's name?
Daniel Hooker and Jalen Turner.
Oh, I don't know.
Shavkat Rakhmonov.
But yeah.
It was the box
no. He can't pronounce enjoy, but dude can get those Russian names and MMA perfect.
I missed the undercard to be transparent. I missed the undercard. I took Mrs. Tobin out on a date, and then I came back and hit the old buy button on the pay-per-view. It was worth it.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't even chance it.
I didn't even pirate it. I was like, I'm like, I don't want to chance it. Too many things I want to see.
Yeah.
Now I did realize it's a pay-per-view next week. So it's going to be an expensive bill this month, because next week we got the rematch between Edwards and Usman. Usman tries to get his belt back.
That's the 18th?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
This Saturday is the 11th.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
In
good
London.
fights. Wow.
It's a monster. This month is a monster. Wow. Honestly, going all the way up into our card on the 8th.
That's right.
Yep.
Wow.
My game bum.
Oh boy.
No, it's really, self-explanatory. Basketball is really hard, right? These guys are competing at an elite level. And as we get towards the end of the season, it is more imperative that everybody be on point as far as the players competing, the coaches, and the damn refs. Okay? A 2-minute paper apologizing does nothing for a team that lost.
Right.
So either stop doing it or get better refs. Because
Exactly.
this is ridiculous. Like, why? I don't understand. If you say Tyler Hero stepped out of bounds, it's very easy to say I'm not sure and go look.
He was so sure.
He was so sure, which made me believe it was even more of a lie. Because,
Right.
sometimes, you always have questions. So,
Look,
although I'm not going to say that's why the Heat lost. They lost because of a great shot. I am going to say that there's far too many situations where we look at this 2-minute report and we're like, how'd you miss that? And so I'm just like, come on,
Look,
man.
Julius Randle made some incredible shots. All game he was making incredible
Right.
shots. He was a monster.
But that still doesn't take away from the bad officiating.
Yeah. Thank you.
And that's where I'm going to go. I'm not going to be like you were, right? But at the same time, they got to shore that up. They got enough guys on. If you can't see everything, find somebody that can, or add another guy.
As a person who used to watch Josh Richardson play basketball, I'm an expert on inbounds, out of bounds. They should make
we all are.
They should
Anytime he dribbles underneath the go, up, turnover here.
Like, what do you need to do? Do you need to make like the out of bounds? Do you need to make them lime green? Like, what needs to happen? Do you need to put like a sensor? Like, can they put like a sensor out there? Like, what the hell?
I think they should make the court 1 foot wider. Because if you see some of these big-footed basketball players who are very tall, try to shoot that corner three, there is barely enough room for their foot in between the 3-point line and out of bounds.
Oh man, like Caleb Martin, like I don't know how many times Caleb Martin hit the shot with his toe on the 3-point line this year. I want to say got to be 12.5 times he's done it.
Right, but and when you try to move back, you're out of bounds.
Yep.
There needs to be more room.
Well, great game balls and game bums. By the way, Leroy's being very giving this week. I don't know if you guys know this. He's giving away Heat tickets.
Oh, Leroy, don't act like you don't know.
You're so what's the word? He's so humble. But Leroy, he's giving up his Heat tickets to give you guys. All right.
Wow.
You guys can win a pair of tickets to see the Heat play the Grizzlies at Miami-Dade Arena next Wednesday, the 15th.
That's a good one.
That is a good. Well, it is a good one, and they play good with or without John Morant.
That's the crazy thing.
Now's the crazy thing. So John Morant.
Is there a team that plays like that without their superstar more than the Grizzlies?
Apparently the Bucks. Jesus, 15-game winning streak or something like that.
Yeah, they did do pretty well without Giannis in some of those games. But no, the Grizzlies definitely that they handle life without John Morant. Okay, they're gonna have to do it for a little bit because John Morant has taken a leave from the team for at least 2 games, but they're saying there's not really a timetable for his return.
Dreaded timetable for his return. We usually hear that with injuries.
Yeah, he was on Instagram Live and he flashed a gun. I think was he at a nightclub or a strip club at the time?
Yeah, he was at a strip club.
Yeah. Well, he can't do that. And I don't know. He's been having a very weird year. Like John Morant's had a lot of stuff around, which is kind of surprising because like this guy, you're talking about one of the most liked players in the NBA, most popular players in the NBA. I felt like John Morant's image was very wholesome. Like you remember the video in the offseason where he like tipped the diner waitress like $1,000?
Yep.
But yeah, he's had like all these altercations off the court between like him and his crew were like chasing a Pacers staffer, and they had to investigate it to make sure it wasn't a gun because there was like a red dot onto the guys. So he had that issue. There was a report that came out last week of a 17-year-old legend that John Morant beat his ass and then came out of his house with a gun. that there was some big brouhaha that was going on over there. Something at like
Why is a 17-year-old that close to his house anyway?
I don't know,
I
dude.
think he was a YouTuber or something like that.
Was it a YouTuber?
And then he tried to look. I don't know the details. I think he tried to kind of bait Jon to something, and Jon fell for the bait.
The thing that was just crazy about the thing that's I think disturbing about it is Ja, as a guy who's that famous, you have to know you have all this stuff around him.
Yep.
For him to make the decision to go on Instagram Live, probably drunk.
Yep.
But to go on Instagram Live at whatever hour of the morning and flash a gun
for what?
Man, that's stupid.
So
That's
dumb,
stupid.
dude. It's not even
First
necessary.
of all,
unnecessary. What are you
I
gonna
have
do that for?
I have a rule.
Oh, God.
If you have to go somewhere where you feel you need a gun for safety, you probably shouldn't be going in there in your, where you are in life. You probably shouldn't go there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my whole, during my career, I knew I wasn't going to never have a gun. I wasn't going to touch a gun. I didn't want to be around guns. So if I went into a club and it just seemed like it was one, usually I avoid, and seems the opposite, but I tried to avoid, clubs with metal detectors. Because that means there have been some situations beforehand which requires you to do that.
Right. And he also might be in some trouble with the CBA too, because apparently because of the Gilbert Arenas fallout, you're not even supposed to have guns on the road. You're not.
Right.
You're not supposed to bring.
Oh, he was on the road?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How'd he get on the plane?
I don't know, dude.
Mm.
Who's checking John Moran?
You think Spirit Airlines is
No, but I'm saying no, because here I don't know how they travel because
I don't know how they travel.
Basketball players are they just go right up on the plane.
Right.
A private plane, but
I think Jimmy travels privately. I don't think Jimmy goes on the team plane.
Oh wow.
But I know that when I was in Minnesota, we had to go through the regular gate. So that would be nearly impossible. No, it would be impossible.
I don't know if he does it for every trip, but I've definitely seen videos where Jimmy's gone to games and has not, been with the team. He just does his own thing. Jimmy usually rents a house on the road. He doesn't stay with the team. He's got it like that. He makes $40 million a year.
What's a chartered aircraft? What's the difference between that and a commercial airline? Is there a difference?
Charter? No, it's just yours. You charter the whole flight, the whole plane.
As of this 2006 article, so I got that really recent.
So back when that Canes tight end was just really starting to blossom in high school.
I don't know. It says they travel via chartered aircraft. As of 2006. I don't know what the hell that means.
Dude,
no, but it is it is crazy. I feel like John Moran had as good a public image.
Yeah, everybody loved
this year than anybody. Everybody loved him.
Everybody loved him.
I don't feel like everybody's rats off a ship on him, but it's everybody's just well, what the hell's going on? This is very concerning that he's going in this direction of flashing guns on Instagram after he knows all of this smoke is around him this season anyway.
Right.
Do you think it started when he said, "Oh, the West is easy" or "the West is fine"? You think that's when people started to kind of villainize him, he's gotten too cocky, or
there was definitely some cockiness, but I think it's more the off the court stuff.
Yeah.
There was definitely the whole Shannon Sharp thing. They haven't quite been as dominant as they were to start the season. He's still been very good. It's not it's not like he's in this bad slump or anything. It's just that you have all this, stuff hanging around you.
Right. It's just to one individual thing is not such a big deal. But when you start adding situations, circumstances, this one, when you start adding them up.
And then the thing that's there's stuff around you and it's all alleged, there's investigations, and all right, you're going on your own Instagram and doing dumb stuff. It's hey, man. So I don't know how long he'll be out. I don't think he's going to be gone for the season. Maybe he'll be back for the Heat game next week, but
right.
He's going to be gone for at least a couple of games, and figuring things out that's going on with himself. But really, really wild this weekend to see that.
Yeah, I mean,
not as wild.
Uh-oh.
Seeing Sergei Bobrovsky whoop a Penguin's ass.
Let's go.
We'll get to that on some cat talk next.
The result.
Halloween costume as a fortune-telling medium.
Huh? Oh, Jesus.
I gotta channel all the inner magic. In the background, you hear lightning. Oh.
Is that why Steve is there?
No, it's not Steve. No. Lightning crew. That is the lightning. You want to hear it again? Whoa! Did you just try to expose me on camera? No. Spirit of Halloween came to me with some predictions. But now, every great fortune teller needs a crystal ball.
Yes, right? Of course.
And much like a famous Miami crystal ball, mine's a little underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is my. I think there's more lightning. Hold on, Mario. Yeah, it very much is. Get my money's worth out of this lightning guy.
You really went out on the limb there, Gypsy.
You're lashing out. I don't want to talk to you when you're this way. Prediction number 3 for the Miami Heat.
I don't know. This is very.
I searched mysterious magic music and this came up, and I think it's good.
I want to sleep to this kind of music.
All right. Well, my segment sucks. You can just say that, J-Fig. You don't have to say that you want to go to sleep in the middle.
How many more predictions do you have?
All right. I'll wrap it up.
No. I just want to know. You looking at that Mario Cristobal? You got a prediction for Klay Thompson tonight?
Yes, Klay Thompson. This guy's a bum. This guy's a bum. More lightning for that.
He really has been on the.
I really thought this was going to be bigger. I got to admit. I really thought.
Like, did you order that on Amazon?
Yeah, when it said 4, I thought it was like 4 to 8 inches. No, it's there's ghosts in here. You know, more lightning. The spirits tell me in about one sleep, you'll be a year older. Lightning.
Yes, tomorrow is my birthday.
Oh, what a coincidence your birthday would be tomorrow. Forget it, more lightning. My poor light guy's thumb is probably burning from the amount of times he's pressed that button.
What was your fortune teller name?
You don't know?
No.
Marco Damas.
Also spelled like Marco Dumbass.
All right. Everyone's a jokester here. Huh? Everyone's got jokes. Huh?
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Taking you up until 2 o'clock this morning. You guys can text show at 305-567-0560. Text the ticket driven by Kendall Toyota and West Kendall Toyota. Let's get some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Wow, that was a fast one. You just got to see that truck? Zoom by today.
Had that turbos.
High stakes weekend was pretty successful. Other than that, I mean, that Heat loss really.
I'm happy and I'm sad.
Stuck in my craw. It really was I hate losing to the New York Knicks.
I'm surprised we didn't get more out of you before Saturday's game.
I was very sad. I was just down, you know? It was just that's how I took it, you know? I was sad. And then I was just like, whatever. I had to get up early. And then I was kind of just like, we'll see what happens. And then I was excited because it was a big sports day. I had the Canes and the Panthers, and it was high stakes day. And then so I was over by the time. And then I was super excited for UFC. And Jon Jones was like, that exceeded my expectations incredibly. The way
was he overwhelming or was Ciryl Gane underwhelming?
I think he was overwhelming.
Okay.
Ciryl Gane's never looked that bad. He's very talented. He's very talented, but people wonder, what does the Francis matchup look like? We were talking about this with Marcos on the way in, right? And I don't really know. I mean, Francis obviously has ungodly power in his hands and one touch.
Jones is skilled.
Yes, he's skilled, but if you're going to MMA math it, Francis Ngannou took him 5 rounds to beat Ciryl Gane. Was down 2 rounds and needed 3 rounds of wrestling, which we've never seen from Francis.
Mm-hmm.
And Jon Jones needed 2 minutes.
Right.
2 minutes to choke his ass out. And by the way, just looked, fat shaming aside, looked so strong. He held him like he was a toy, like a chew toy.
He's not fat, dude.
No, I know, but people were fat shaming him.
Yeah, I wonder, just out of curiosity,
mm-hmm.
You know, all the rocked up muscle guys that you see in MMA or at the gym weigh about $150 tops. That ain't a man. You want to do something?
Well, don't
look that way at 240, at 245.
But Ciryl Gane
does gonna look different.
That's the thing. Ciryl Gane does look like that at 240. He looks like that.
Okay, what happened to him?
He got toyed with
by the guy you're fat shamed. By the guy people fat shamed.
Mm-hmm.
Bet you wouldn't tell him that to his face.
I think he did get asked about it. What do you make of people's reaction? He goes, it's not a bodybuilding contest.
Right.
Jon Jones was like, Jon Jones, true to his word, was like, I'm going to wreck this guy. And he did. And that's the thing that's scary about him is man, when he is motivated,
he's focused and he stays out of trouble.
So scary. The only way he loses is himself.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
And it's he doesn't even lose. The only time he looks mortal is when he's a little bit, either unmotivated or partying too much. Crazy. That wasn't even the best fight of the weekend, though. Get some cat talk here, brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up.
Oh,
my Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers.
Okay, dude.
What's wrong?
By the way, I gotta slow down because I got that green apple cherry.
You've been jacked up on Mountain Dew, Chip?
Dude.
Chip!
It's that good stuff, man.
It's good. It's really
nice.
good.
It's a perfect amount of cold, too.
Yeah.
What'd you put this in there?
In the freezer, dude.
Wow.
When you get into work, you put it in the freezer.
A couple hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw this guy hanging out on the staircase this morning. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it was a big game for a lot of reasons. One, they needed to chase the Penguins down. So huge win for the Cats. Barkov came back, had a couple of assists. Sam Bennett came back, got himself a goal. But the biggest of them all was Sergei Bobrovsky whooping that ass.
That's right.
Comes in, he gets 31 saves. He's been great. Shout out to Bob. But then there's Zucker with a real Zucker punch. All right. Hits Bob when he's not looking.
Mm-hmm.
And Sergei Bobrovsky was not taking that sitting down. Here was Bob after the game.
Where you got hit, went into the corner. We don't usually see that kind of emotion out of you in the middle of the game. I know you pride yourself on keeping yourself even, but can you kind of walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought he threw the elbow on purpose, and I didn't like that. It was a dirty play. So I tried to get up and protect myself too, because he wasn't fair. He could easily avoid that hit, but he didn't.
Are you feeling okay from that?
Yeah, I feel fine. I feel fine. I kind of the very last second I saw him on the peripheral vision that he kind of get his elbow, so I was able to shell myself up, protect myself. But yeah, it was bad play.
Do you find it hard to lock yourself back in after an experience like that?
No, it doesn't really matter. It's just it's just a little flush, and you get back to focus, get back to calm, and read the play.
Seems like you've been getting hit a little bit, not like that, but you rolled into last couple games. I think you got rolled into today in the first period. You just getting a little tired of that a little bit, or was that on your mind?
I think I don't think about it. I think it's a part of the game. Guys try to put the skates on you, to stick on you or something. So it's part of the game. I try to focus on the puck and be ready and just play. Just try to stop the puck.
There you go. I can tell you what, no one's gonna mess with him the rest of the season.
Hey,
goalie on edge.
Hey, Bob using the peripherals.
That's right.
No, you got it. Hey, all good goalies have peripherals.
That's right.
That's right.
I like it.
I mean, I'm looking here, but I can see what's going on over here.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way he talks.
The-
Ethan says you're gonna have to dump the way that Bob says focus. He says it how he says it.
I was a little scared. I'm not gonna lie.
He says it how he says it.
Scared.
If he just dropped that U on the end, we got problems.
Stunton Steve says, I feel like he usually has a stinker after a good game. I blame Tobin for that. Look, I really wanted to talk to Bob, but I'm very worried that if I talk to him about his good play, and if he has a couple stinkers, you're all going to call me a jinx. So it is led me to stay away.
Whoa. Let me ask you a question. Shoes on the other foot. And we're interviewing Bob because we like Bob.
Yeah.
And he goes into the can for a couple of games.
Yeah.
Would you not say we were a jinx?
No,
I wouldn't. It's fair.
I
He
don't
was
want.
playing great. You went and talked to him. Then he starts sucking. It's you. It's not him.
Interesting. Didn't think about it like that. By the way, the Dolphins, they had the combine this week. Did you watch any combine, Leroy?
I saw something that you guys really should hear. A defensive tackle
Oh yeah.
ran the fastest time ever for his position at a combine. He's 280 pounds.
Jesus. Yikes.
And he ran, I want to say 4.5 or 4.6.
Wow.
Think about that.
He was humming.
Dude, I thought he was a linebacker when he was running. Then when they said, this guy's a D tackle. Big boy. And he didn't look like Jadeveon Clowney when he was running it. He looked like regular guy, hardly no muscles.
But you always get this every year. There's always this guy that runs super fast, and then you never hear from him. Is he those
no,
guys, or does he actually have skill?
Let me. If a guy's really fast that plays at a fast position, then they could disappear. So you're talking about cornerbacks, wide receivers, running backs, what have you. Fast guys at those positions. There's different things that besides speed that tell if you're going to be a good player. But when you have that size and speed as an interior lineman, right? Like that's the starting point on how well you get off the ball. How can you chase a quarterback? How can you get in his face? How can you chase the ball down for a running back? That speed starts the conversation. And so when you think about all the rush-ins, all of the DNs that were considered pass rushers, the one thing they talk about is their speed, their burst, getting off of the ball. And if you have some length with that, that makes you dominant. That's why Jadeveon Clowney was a freak of nature, because he was so big and ran so fast that you just put 2 and 2 together. So yes, you can look into that a little bit more at that position than you would at, say, wide receiver or defensive back, because most of them are pretty fast.
Makes sense.
So the Dolphins met with a bunch of running backs.
That's why it makes sense.
That's true. Dolphins met with a bunch of running backs at the combine.
I can see it. I
met
can
with
see it.
Devon A-Chain from Texas A&M. He scored on the Canes.
Oh, all right.
5'9", 185. Well, that was a closer game. That was
5'9", 185.
Yeah, fast.
No, that has the makings of.
They talked to one guy who was 5'6", 175.
Wow.
Deuce Vaughn, which is a cool name.
That is a cool name.
Deuce,
Yeah.
because you're tiny.
No, dude. And then they talked to Sean Tucker from Syracuse, Moose.
Well,
So
he's a big. He's a big boy at running back, right?
5'10", 210.
That's not big. That's probably a prototypical.
Big compared to Deuce Vaughn.
Well, yeah, that's probably your prototypical size. If you can be 5'10", 5'11", 210, 215, that body says you could probably take a beating, depending on how fast you are. Then when you take that body type and then you do the other test and you try to put it together, then you can try to come to the conclusion whether this guy can play. Sometimes you have guys that are dominant in college, and then you start doing the test, and he's slow, and it just moves you down the list. Doesn't mean you can't play. It's just according to your testing, he's not a guy you're going to draft really high for.
Last week, Chris Greer did say that they would be happy just bringing back the same backfield. Like if they just brought back Mostert.
I'd be happy with that too.
And Wilson, I think, announced yesterday on WSBN, I think, that he signed with Rosenhaus, which is a
gateway to Miami.
That's a gateway to Miami. Yeah, like Rosenhaus, Greer, great relationship. I mean, half the damn starters are signed by Rosenhaus. So I would say signs are pointing that Jeff Wilson is likely to be. If they go off of Mostert, I would say that he's getting a little older. Maybe that they want something a little different. But yeah, they're Mike McDaniel. Both of those guys are Mike McDaniel guys. So
you bring back Mostert, and maybe you bring in a young guy that, one of those fast guys that you don't have to draft really high for, try to develop them. But if not, you have Mostert to hold it down, to be that speed guy in the backfield. So it's no bigs. No bigs. I'm more interested in linebacker, tight end. You can always use offensive line. You can always use DBs, but I'm not one of those guys that think you have to go high based on what you have.
And a couple of people I mentioned on the chat, Dade South Stunt Steve, they make the point that Will Mallory did run the fastest out of the tight ends this week, which Stunt Steve points out, would never have guessed that watching him play.
That's your
wait. Hold on. What did he run? That's the more important thing, because
the 4.5s.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, 4.54.
Wow. That's flat out getting it.
Yeah,
for sure.
4.54 40-yard dash. Fastest among the 13 tight ends at the combine.
Yeah. But again, though, that's that Canes player every year that's like comes out, does great in the combine. You're like, what the hell? Where was this guy?
Mallory had like huge expectations.
Yeah.
It just felt like he didn't get any better.
Wait a minute. There's a lot that goes into whether your tight end catches a damn ball.
What?
Yes,
like what?
For sure.
Nobody was catching balls.
Nobody was catching balls.
So to say, I thought the tight end would be better. We thought everybody would be better.
That's true.
It's valid.
So I'm not going to put that on the team or him as much as you got that talent, you got that skill set, and you could get nobody consistently get him the ball, no offense to be consistently run. Yeah, his numbers are going to suffer along with everybody else's.
We'll take a quick break. You guys can text at 305-567-0560. Got more giveaways. Got Leroy. Got those Heat and Grizz tickets to give away before the end of today's show. And back with more after this.
Busy.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy back with you here on 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock here this morning. If you guys missed John Crotty, he joined us early in the show. We'll bring that to you next hour with a little 15 minutes of heat. Heat getting set for the Atlanta Hawks again tonight. Omer Yurtseven expected to make his season debut. Woo-hoo! Big Yurt, no longer hurt.
Nice.
Getting on out there.
You know what I also saw?
You know what's scary? I just realized that my computer wasn't plugged in.
Oh, boy. So you almost lost the battery?
Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
Could have been dicey.
Yeah.
Could have been dicey. Hey, David Buster's month is back just in time for Hoops Tournament Hysteria. We've got your chance to win a $250 gift card from Dave & Buster's. Go to WQAM.com and enter on the contest page. If you win, you guys can go to Dave & Buster's with your gift card and have a party on all of us in Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. Might be a good place to go watch. Start watching the ACC tournament as the Canes will be in action on Thursday. They win the ACC. So shout out to Coach L and the crew there. They will take on the winner of Syracuse and Wake Forest. So we'll have a short show on Thursday for everybody out there, which is
what? Like that.
Yeah, like that.
That face says everything, Leroy.
By 11:30. So
what?
Yep. Yep.
Marcos, are you crying?
No.
He's sweating. He's sweating. It's really hot in that room.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow. He's got
Marcos got all emotional.
Let's get to speaking of Marcos. A lot happened this weekend, man. Why don't we mix it on up, huh? Time for a Marcos mixed bag here on 560 WQAM. But before that, Leroy, could you give us a weather update from the Demesman and Dover?
Sure can.
YourAccidentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them up 866-954-MORE for free consultations 24/7.
Unseasonably high.
Yeah.
So it was damn near 9 degrees yesterday. Right now, I got the winds blowing 5 miles an hour, not moving very much at all. I can't really tell what direction yet, but looks like it's out of the southeast. And it's probably like 83, 84 degrees as we speak with partly cloudy skies.
All right. How did you do, Marcos?
He did great.
Golfer.
East, southeast. He is right, man. It's been unseasonably hot. It's
Yep.
87 degrees according to this. Right?
Woo! Yeah.
It's rough.
What do we got, Marcos, today in the mixed bag?
All right. Well, starting things off, inspired by a dominant UFC performance by Jon Jones, a friend of the show, Alexa Grasso.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, Bob handled business.
Mm-hmm.
Things got chippy in another sport recently. Not sure if you saw Devin Booker and Luka recently got into it. So this is them talking about it after the game. And I just want your opinion because Devin Booker brings up a good point. You all clamored for it. You got it. Now, what do you think?
He said something to me the first I responded. You know, you guys say you don't want everybody to be friendly. There you go. We got some smoke.
Do you think that traces back to the playoffs last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's just two competitors going at it. Like I just said, you got everybody speaks on, you know, how friendly the NBA is now, and and don't like that. And, you know, I have no problem with Luka on or off the court. But, you know, when we're competing, we're competing.
It's fine. It's just competitive game, man. It's all good. Just next time, don't wait till it's 3 seconds left to talk.
Yeah, I guess
Whoa!
I like that side.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what I think. I'm gonna tell you, he said, if you go bring that smoke, bring it the whole game. Don't bring it after the game's over.
A little late with the yipping is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do like. I mean, Devin Booker is right. I do like that there's beef. I mean, they don't like each other. They haven't liked each other for a while. So I don't know why he says he doesn't have a problem with him. He clearly does. He clearly doesn't like Luka, and Luka gets on people's nerves. He whines a lot. Luka's a bit of a crybaby.
There's players that I liked off the football field, but hated on the football field. I've told you stories about just how, like, me and John Randall used to fight every second of every day because he's just 100% full energy guy, and he's too big to be playing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we would always get into it. But like, we out and about, nah, that's my dude. So I could understand that. Now, it's different when it's on the same team versus a different team, and depending on who that team is, because I got to tell you, I mean, that's how Cleveland and Pittsburgh was, but most importantly, they were beating the hell out of us. So yeah, that beef is going to be there.
What else we got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
We go from one tough and chippy moment to a heartbreaker in South Florida.
Ugh.
But Jimmy Butler discussed what I refer to as a lucky bounce from Julius Randle.
Definitely was.
Here's what Butler had to say.
It's a hell of I know. But that's what happens. Like, that's just the karma of the game. When he's having a night like he was having, you know, you knock the ball loose somehow, some way, it ends up in his shooting pocket, and he turns and shoots it, and he had been making those shots all game. Man, you got to tip your hat to that, to what they did to us in our home floor. That's tough. But we didn't deserve to win. We did not. And they got one.
I like how Jimmy's using spoisms, the karma of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like there's a tarot reader somewhere in the on the timeout bench. It's like, Chris Quinn, what does one-eyed frog mean?
Why it's got to be a frog?
Why?
Seems a little personal there.
Oh man, yeah, it was a kid. Do you have the call from Jax? Do we have that? I haven't even heard it. I can't even imagine how, because it was just. I thought they had it. Tyler gets the go ahead, and Jimmy pokes it away, and to them walk away with that victory was just a killer.
Here's the call.
Randall has the ball now. Jimmy's in his jersey. He knocked it away. Randall has it. He fires a three. He knocked it down with 0.7 to go. Julius Randle's taking a victory lap.
Oh,
Even Jax, he's like, this is an exciting moment, but damn, I don't want to be excited.
I hear all those Knicks fans in the background
Oh,
too.
hey, I got to tell you, when that shot went in, it got a lot louder than
it
I
was a
think
ton of
it
Knicks
should
fans.
have been.
Tyler got booed at the free throw line.
What?
I was like, what the hell?
Now I know how everyone else feels when we try.
Yeah, there's a lot of them down here. It's annoying.
It's
annoying. It is
man.
annoying. What else we got in the mixed bag?
All right, we're gonna focus on some excitement, maybe something that we can look forward to, as we spoke about earlier in the show.
Mhm.
Mario Cristobal, was
Yeah.
recently speaking at spring camp.
He's popping
spring
off,
training.
dude.
So we heard
That's what he
yeah,
said.
this
He
is
said,
5-7 last year.
dude, he was like getting
thoughts.
it was you didn't hear him talk about football. He was getting excited talking about football.
We already heard him speak about the tight end unit and the offensive line. This is Mario Cristobal and the energy and enthusiasm from the wide receiver group, and I'm not sure if I should believe him or not. I don't know, man.
Biggest uptick in just energy levels and enthusiasm has been the wide receivers, and it's due to schematically we've adapted, we've changed, right? We've done some things to help us create more explosive plays, and they see opportunity, and they've been very, I would say, very diligent, very proactive in their approach to getting better and helping our offense.
Well, good. They need to.
Yeah. What does that mean? They're good or they're just happy to be?
They're excited, dude. They're
All right.
excited.
Well,
You
that's
know?
cool. Thanks. Appreciate that. It's not gonna catch balls. All right. I need more production. I need the guy who's been in college since 2002 to catch some balls this year.
Get somebody
right?
from the XFL.
Might as well.
Did you see
dude.
Josh
I
Gordon
mean,
this week in the XFL go off?
Did he get like a game winner? Like a
Yeah.
ball? That was a Hail Mary. Nice.
Oh, De'Aaron, I saw a whole bunch of guys. Like, was De'Aaron King?
Yep.
He played against who was another guy that was in the league?
Was it AJ McCarron? The
AJ McCarron,
the star of the XFL, apparently.
Who
Derek
else?
King, huh?
There's De'Aaron King throwing. He was
Zinging?
zinging it.
You're slinging it?
Slinging
Boy.
it.
We'll take a quick break. Back more for this. Marcos.
My damage is done. Go.
What do you got, Marcos?
My damage is done goes to myself.
Damage is done, my friend.
The other day, I was coming home from a long day of work. My fiance says that she cooked me something, and I was excited for a good meal. I came home to a sandwich and was like, "This is not cooked."
Damage is done.
Yeah,
I told you. Wait, no.
I see.
Wait. I mean, if you're comparing it to hot lasagna, you
Doesn't
jackass.
matter.
That's
He
true.
agrees with me.
Leroy.
Come to my side, baby.
Oh, you can't. You
Welcome aboard.
wait. No, it's his fiance's fault.
Yeah. She told me
You
she
don't
cooked
say
me
I
something.
cooked you something.
matter.
And
I thought
then
you guys
come
were
home
the-
to a
I
sandwich.
thought you guys were the cook
He's
crew.
not the- well, you know what? If she did cook him something and she did say that to him and he shows up to a sandwich, it's cooked.
Not according to him. He
Don't
feels
say
like he
that.
was duped.
No, I almost cursed. That bleep was not cooked.
No.
Damage is done.
Your career just isn't fair. I'm a venereal disease, like a menstrual bleed through the pencil.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy. Taking you up until 2 o'clock. Welcome on back, everybody. Streaming live on YouTube. Miami 560 WQAM is the channel for Twitch and YouTube. You guys can also get us on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. And before the end of this hour, we'll give away a pair of Heat and Grizzlies tickets from Leroy and get everybody excited for that. But before that, I got to tell you, you guys like metal music?
Well, I do.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
J-Fig, you like metal music?
Nah, I don't think so.
Not really. Oh, of course I do.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Leroy, you like metal music? Let me tell you about the biggest weekend in metal music, Rockville, which is coming at you May 18th through the 21st at Daytona Beach. And if you guys want to go see Tool, Slipknot, Murderer, Vampire Lust, Pantera, Rob Zombie, and a whole lot more. What? Problem?
Murderer.
Did you really just say that?
Vampire Lust, is that real? I don't know if that's
Oh, it's real, dude. It's real.
Their number one song is "Damn That Tweety Bird."
I used to love Tweety Bird. Okay.
It was Last Squawk. If you guys want to go to Rockville, all right, you got to tune in the Odyssey app. You listen every hour. Every hour you listen, you get another chance to win those tickets to Rockville. So you go to the Odyssey app, you listen to WQM, or go to WQM.com. Every hour you listen, every hour you get another chance. Pile up those chances, and you could win your tickets to Rockville in Daytona Beach. Yeah. Did you see Leroy? This annoyed me this weekend. So there's another what?
Just one thing?
Yeah, I didn't like it. Especially on Mike McDaniel's birthday. I didn't like it. Birthday weekend. And I guess, coincidentally, also Tua's birthday weekend, because this is the greatest weekend of Dolphins' birth.
You forgot Tyreek.
And Tyreek and Javon Holland.
That's true.
A lot of stuff. But anyway, there was a report from CBS Sports' Josina Anderson that said, I'm told multiple people have been made aware within the Dolphins organization that the team will explore all options at quarterback per a league source. This as the decision continues to linger on a long-term deal and a fifth-year option on Tua Tagovailoa. That they are going to explore all options.
Not worried at all.
Which I'm just like...
Because that could also mean backup quarterback.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that kind of annoyed me about it, though. Like, well, what does that mean? Backup. Okay, all options at backup. Then you should say backup quarterback, shouldn't you?
Well,
if you say all options at quarterback, it insinuates moving on from Tua.
Can I tell you how
Very vague.
Can I tell you how this works? So somebody says, hey, you haven't decided what you're going to do with Tua. So how deep are you going to get into looking for a backup quarterback? And the response is, we're going to, review all our options as far as quarterback is concerned. Right now, whoever answered that question could very well only been talking about the backup quarterback role. But if you just take that clip and write it, now it's a big juicy story. So I have a hard time believing. Here's what I have a hard time believing. That both Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel has never wavered on support of Tua. Never. No questions, no nothing. And then all of a sudden this story comes out. I'm telling you what happened. It happened. They were talking about backup quarterback and finding replacements for the backup quarterback, and that's how it got reported.
I don't think there's anything here. I think they keep trying to make stuff up. I don't think there's anything here. I think we got to move on. You want to know how I know there's nothing here? So we get these odds all the time, right? Like, they'll say, such and such is a free agent. Who, well, here are the odds of the next team. Swear to God, every time these odds come out, Miami is one of the, that's why they send them to us. They're always one of the top teams in odds.
Yep.
It was like Like I got one today. Leonard Fournette's next team. Who's the favorite? Miami. You know, Saquon Barkley, free agent, odds on his next team. Miami. Dalvin Cook, same thing. Trey Young, Miami. You know, crossover sports. They sent one on Lamar Jackson. The Dolphins had the longest odds out of anybody to get Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Plus 1,200, which was double the field's odds of getting him, which lets you know that the Vegas insider people are like, they're not moving on from Tua. They're not.
Here's the other thing is that if you replace Tua or bring somebody else, you're basically saying you have somebody who can do better than Tua. Well, he was the first in the league in a lot of statistics. So where are you going to go to get better than that? I think he's played himself in a position where you at least have to let it play out. If you have concerns about the injuries, his play has stated we gotta let this play out. This position is too hard to find.
But like, fine. If you guys think he's got it, he does have injury questions. I'm not denying that.
Yep.
But they're not replacing him. They're not.
No.
They're not
They're
doing
not.
that this year. And
Especially-
everybody just wants to make everything a thing. And I'm like, there's no thing here. Can we just like acknowledge that this is going to be all the drama that they had with Tua the year before Mike McDaniel got here? Hey, the organization deserves everything that they got as far as the way they treated their quarterback, the skepticism. Great. It's a new head coach now. It's a new head coach. He seems to believe in his quarterback. I think we should just kind of go with that. All options, including moving on from Tua. What?
Who said
Really?
that?
That was the report.
Including moving, I thought they were. All right.
And the other thing that's crazy about it is like, oh, okay, if they were, how come they didn't meet with Derek Carr if they were exploring all their options? Why didn't they meet with them?
Well, because
If they were
once you have
exploring all their options,
once you have a meeting with somebody, it becomes real.
are you? Well, Leroy,
And I would say this:
I thought
Derek
they were
Carr.
exploring all options.
You think Derek Carr is better than Tua?
No, but that's not. But you see my point. Like,
Yeah.
if you're exploring all options, why didn't they meet with them?
Every quarterback available, you kick the
That's
tires
all.
on. Right.
That's all options. Why
Right.
didn't they meet with them if they're exploring all options?
Again, I'm telling you what I think happened.
Silly.
Because a lot of times you can read into these quotes and kind of take from that and put together with what you're hearing on a first-hand basis from the organization and the people surrounding that organization. And there has been no writers, there have been no reports that anybody was moving on from Tua. So if you take that information and then plug that information into this current story, then you have conflict. And I'm going to believe the team until they prove otherwise. Like they've never gone, they haven't been this team that tries to go out of their way to hell, they lost a first round pick for not being private enough. Now all of a sudden they're gonna do something that we are unaware of.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, no, I get it. Look, maybe this is the crime for doing this to him in years past, but I just don't think the drama's there this year. It's just weird. You know, I don't even think the fifth year thing is going to be that dramatic. I really don't. You know, if they don't sign him to that fifth year, if they don't pick it up, okay, that's a little thing. But it's in 2 months. Can we talk about it in 2 months?
I mean,
and Chris Greer scouting people. Let me get this straight. So Chris Greer, he's supposed to be scouting all these people at the combine. You know, figure out who he wants to draft in the second round. You know, he doesn't have to make a decision on something in 2 months. Nothing changes other than Tua knows he has another guaranteed $23 million. There's no urgency for it.
Right.
But somehow he's a rat bastard because he hasn't picked it up yet. It's just strange.
I don't know. Like I just laugh. That's just a story to be written. That's not a story. but it'll raise eyebrows. But if you're down here and you've listened to anybody talk about the Dolphins, that doesn't even seem.
That's the thing that's crazy
real.
about it. Is like they're out here publicly being like, we want him to be the quarterback. The coach just said last week, we want him to be the quarterback for a long time. You know, like they are all publicly saying he's our quarterback.
Right.
And everybody's just gonna go like, what do you got on this? Any other reports we can go on? So say Tua's not their quarterback? Because Tua's a buzz topic and it's sexier. It just builds interest. It builds, you know, like the clip on this report got over 1 million views. 1 million views. The Dolphins are exploring all options. 1 million.
And that's why you write it. Doesn't matter if it's true or not.
It's not even saying like it's like you said. I think it's what you're saying. I think it's like a backup thing. We're exploring all options, but it's vague. It's like
it's right.
It's so vague. It's like a vague blanket.
Right. But quarterback, Miami, Tua, they just put them all together and run with it.
I'm like the king of could be something, could be nothing. I'm like, this seems like nothing. Everything is like pointing to Tua's a quarterback. That's it.
Right. Why would they do that?
By the way, a little update. Kevin Love, he is out for the game tonight.
Really?
Whoa. Rib injury.
Wow.
Rib injury.
Rib injury, dude. So he is out.
All right.
So Big Yard. We'll see what Big Yard can do.
Omer Yurtsevin, the Heat have just tweeted out, has been upgraded to available.
Hey. I'm gonna say that to Big Spoon tonight.
You've been upgraded to
available. I've been upgraded to available. Give it a look. Y'all know what's up.
Take a quick break. Get you caught up with your headlines. Back after this.
Classic. Write what you will. Hopefully you didn't jinx us. Sometimes the best things that you can say are to say nothing.
The only thing that he knows is that he knows nothing.
What? Mr. Crandall Wheeler Chris.
Clock, 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 clock.
Nice.
To give a damn if I was here. Shit, I said before the ice was in my grill. Before I got my major deal, these girls didn't give a damn if I was here. Shit.
Happy birthday to McCoachin.
Attaboy.
Mike McDaniel, 40 years old today, the big 4-0.
Jeez.
His UD year.
By the way.
Still older than me.
I mean, I believe they're the same age now. I
No,
mean,
they're not.
Yeah.
You know,
UD's older than Mike.
he's 42.
Technically
2 years, dude.
You want to count?
I mean, they're all still
months.
they're all still the same ages.
You did
tight end playing tight end playing for the Canes.
We'll get to a couple of headlines here brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
So the Heat are doing a lot of cool stuff because it is UD's last year. And they announced that they have on 305 at 305, because of course that's how you do it.
Yeah, makes sense.
They're going to be doing a lot of things to honor Udonis Haslem coming on up with 4 days of 40. It is a 4-day campaign from the Miami Heat from March 23rd through the 26th to celebrate Udonis Haslem. So they got coming up a court culture lifestyle brand. So they got a UD collection coming on out, new t-shirts to celebrate Udonis Haslem. They got that. And then they have actually it starts on Thursday. They're gonna have like a bunch of like cool UD content that's gonna be coming out.
Nice.
Then the next day they're releasing a bunch of new shirts and UD gear. Then on Saturday, March 25th, against the Nets, they are having UD night, and they are going to dedicate Section 305 to Udonis Haslem.
Wow.
Yep.
Did he have everything UD related except UD?
What do you mean?
Is he back?
Leroy.
What do you mean, is he back? I don't understand your question.
He was out for a minute, wasn't he?
What do you mean he's out? I don't understand.
He wasn't with the team.
He was gone for like 1 game. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
Are you referring to are you confusing Udonis Haslem with Kyle -1?
No.
Oh, okay.
-1.
All right.
And then they're gonna have Family Fest on the 26th, which is gonna be Udonis Haslem themed, and
nice.
That'll be cool. But Udonis did come out, and he did tell Anthony Chang of the Miami Herald. He said, "I'm done. I'm done no matter what happens. I gave my contribution. I think at this stage, there needs to be another voice for these guys. And it's time for somebody to step up and be the voice."
Who's it going to be? Who can step up to UD's role?
Nobody.
All right.
Nobody.
I'm going to name someone right now.
Hmm?
Dexter Pittman. Join the team again.
Where is Dexter Pittman?
No one knows.
Does anybody know where Dexter Pittman is?
Nope.
No, I mean, I think if it's going to be anybody, I mean, the guy they've been grooming to do that is Bam.
Oh, yeah.
To be the torch bearer of Heat culture.
Yeah, but he's a star, though.
So?
I need a voice. I need
you just want a voice?
Your only job, be the voice.
Just be the voice.
Mm-hmm.
But no playing?
Nope.
Just like your role is to get
the problem is nobody's got skin in the game like UD had.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So,
who has that respect?
So who can, the thing about UD is I don't care, what fun we make a UD or me personally.
Yeah.
But
-1.
The fact of the matter is
-1.
that guy has been through all the ups and downs with this organization. And there's not anybody else who's been through that like him. So I don't know how,
That's why I'm saying, like, the guy who makes sense is Bam. Like, if it's going to be, the vocal, the guy who's going to be the voice. I mean, Bam's not the most vocal guy in the world, but he's been more vocal as he gets older.
Well, keep in mind, neither, you can be vocal behind the scenes and not necessarily be vocal so that everybody sees you.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that you don't have that respect. So
true.
Bam could do it, so I don't think it's impossible. I just think that when we started viewing UD that way, he had about 10, 11, 12 years with the organization, had won championships, have gone through some stuff with the organization. So from that standpoint, I think somebody needs to whoever does it, whether it's Bam, Jimmy, whoever does it, they need that skin to where no matter who comes through those doors, you automatically get the respect from being a Heat player.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. Like, look, there's going to be, between Udonis's career coming to an end, I don't know how many more years Pat's going to do this. I mean, he says, he's going to stick around for this build, whatever that means. But Pat's getting up there too. What's Pat going to be? He's going to be 79, 78 coming up in March or soon, isn't it? Isn't Pat Riley's birthday? His birthday's in a couple of weeks, so he'll be 78. So, I do think we're getting into a time where, a lot of the organization is going to look different. Maybe not next year. Obviously, you gone, but, maybe in a couple of years. How many more years is Pat going to do it? I don't know. He gets asked about it every year. He always says that he feels great. I know, a lot of, Spo's got a much bigger hand than he used to and all that decision-making stuff and whatnot, but still, it's the gravitas is Pat Riley knows, what he stands for and being the face of the franchise and all that stuff.
This
Weird.
is an accurate assessment.
Anyway, some other headlines. It was high stakes weekend. Now we got high stakes week as the Heat on the Hawks tonight. No Kevin Love, he's out. Rib contusion. I don't know what the hell happened.
Someone in the chat, RVA Richie, I believe, was saying that someone fell on him during a rebound or something like that. I think it's a ploy. They just want
the old hate getting fallen on.
Oh,
can I tell you, that ain't no joke.
Rib contusion?
I had listen, somebody fell on me and I just heard the crunch and I broke 2 ribs. So
oh my God.
It's excruciating, dude, and it never heals.
Did you get the goosey seeing the Canes win this weekend? Coach L celebrating?
I did, because you know what? I have the ultimate respect for what he's done since he's been here, how he's done it, the energy. One of the best compliments you could give a coach is to see the way your team plays on a night by night basis, and they play with so much energy. They've all bought in, and they seem to really, really, really love Coach L. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the team, and it was fun to watch. I will say this, that who would ever thought that in the last 5 years, the most successful U of M team would be the basketball team?
Yeah. No, he has been, since he's been here, he has by far had that program more successful than the football team has been.
Right.
It's not, it's the thirst for football being great here. I get it. I know what this town bleeds football, and this team, you could tell from the Dolphins fan base, how much they want it to be great, how much the Canes fan base wants to be great. The basketball teams are the one that show the consistency. It's just, and that is an interesting thing as more kids are growing up, and you see, football will always be the most popular sport. It is the most popular sport. But my God, can we just get some damn consistency?
That's it. But that's kind of the deal. We're going through that with the Heat. is that like they've got to be the only team where they are to not have more than a 5-game winning streak, which makes it that much more incredible that they are where they are without ever having that stretch to where they win 9 out of 10 or 8 straight or 7 straight. They haven't had that run all year, yet they're still in the mix.
Yeah, well, it's like it's their inconsistency has been confounding this year. And
Whoever we ask is just as lost as us.
Yeah, and I know it always goes to like, the shooting has definitely been a thing, but I also think like, seeing how they go about games. Like I think when Jimmy says like you can see, I don't know if they're digging in as much as they have because they're not a good offensive team. They haven't been a good offensive team all year. They're at the bottom of the league when it comes to offense. So they need that ferocity to play on defense, to cause turnovers, to get easy baskets. And that's a hard way to play. It's a hard way to play, especially when you were just, the 1 seed last year and you feel like, all right, let's just kind of regular season this thing and not get too crazy about it. And, we see that in the West, it's a lot more common. Like there's a lot of teams that are kind of just lurking and not doing that great. The records
Well, that's because they're all even though. Like there's just probably 5 to 7 teams that are within 3 games of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you doing that out West, you can legitimately say, if I'm top 6, I got a chance because they're all bunched like that. But in the East, it's a different story. So I don't know, it's probably one of the more unexplainable things that we've seen in sports this year.
Needed tonight, though. I love seeing the way Bam played in that last game. That was, he had it all going for him, especially getting to the rim, then was mixing in the jump shot. That's the way I like to see him play on the offensive end. It was a great balance. And though it still got dicey after feeling like you had that game in the bag, they did, anytime it got to 5, they did answer back in that fourth quarter and then finally put the clamps on it and got the win. So these 2-game sets are weird. Hopefully they can carry that over tonight before a couple of big-time matchups against Cleveland.
Were you nervous? When it had been double digits all game and then it went down to 5, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I can't say that I was feeling fantastic because, now I'm not like shook because this is what they've done all year. Every game is a game down the stretch and is a nail biter, but yeah, it doesn't feel great. You would like it. It would be nice if one of these games would be just easy. They could just take it to the goal line and just finish it off. But it never is. It never is. It's always something difficult. We'll play a little All Right, Oh No. John Crotty, you guys missed him earlier. He's going to join us later on this hour. We'll break down everything that went down this weekend with the Heat and look ahead to the week ahead. We'll be back with more after this.
All right.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Time to get to our all right and oh no's for the weekend. Got Jon Crotty closing out the show today. Before that, I want to let you guys know the Renaissance Festival is back. Woo! And we have 4 packs of tickets for you to go and visit the lords and ladies, take part in an axe throwing coterie, tests of strength, and more. And Leroy's favorite is there, the leg of turkey. Whoa!
I want to be a part of the axe throwing.
Axe throwing is fun. Like I
Hey.
really enjoy axe throwing.
I don't know.
Hey,
So much fun.
Let me tell you something. There's no way in hell I'm going around a whole bunch of drunk white folks pitching axes.
But don't
They
worry
have their own
about
section, I'm
this.
sure.
We also have, you can go visit the Pickle Man.
Okay, so the pickle that's the thing.
That is a thing, dude.
All right.
I'm
What
pulling
is
it up
that?
right now.
You guys can enter for
I'm
your
gonna
chance
pull
to
up
win. Go to
the
www.com.
Pickle
I don't know if I'd Google
Man.
Take it easy, man.
Oh,
all right?
look.
Yeah, be careful with that.
It's a film.
it. Well,
All right. Take it easy. All right. Here's my all right. My all right goes to Jon Bones Jones.
Yeah.
Ciryl Gane, first round submission win to win the heavyweight title. It was an awesome comeback. Francis Ngannou, he sent him a message that says, "Good job, Johnny boy. Sincerely, the heavyweight king." Which leads me,
What is he throwing? Is he throwing a little?
which leads me to my oh no, Dana White.
oh no.
Thank you for bringing the UFC to Miami, by the way.
Yeah, really nice.
But still, how do you not have this fight? You get every fight. You get every fight. And yet
True.
still, we don't have Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad because I really would want to see it. I'm in for Stipe and Jon, although I feel
Yeah.
like John's going to kill Stipe.
Well,
But still, this is not the promotion that lets these things get in the way.
Yep.
No
But-
Francis Ngannou, Jon Jones. I'm upset about that.
You think he would ever just sign Francis Ngannou to one fight, or he'd have to do? You know what I mean? I think. So if he said, "Hey, I'll pay you to come fight one fight,"
I don't
or
know.
would he have to sign a contract, which would then?
They usually like to lock up their guys. That's
Yeah.
usually what they like to do
I
because
mean,
you don't want to beat in Jon Jones and then he's free to walk again. You
Yeah.
know, like that's what they
you
do.
need the rematch, if anything, right?
Right.
You're gonna make double the money.
Anyway, what do you got, Leroy? All right, I don't know.
All right, my all right goes to Friday. I went to see Fonz had a little short film at the Boca Film Festival.
All right.
We got to watch it. And then we watched some cartoons with the orchestra playing underneath. It was cool. It was fun. To be out and be able to see one of your kids.
What kind of cartoons?
Huh?
What kind of cartoons?
Fantasia.
Oh,
So no
nice.
words, just when they show the
Yeah.
stuff and the pretty colors, and then they play orchestra underneath. Yeah, like cartoons were when I grew up.
Nice.
You idiot kids nowadays, you need talking in your cartoons.
All
We
right.
used to just look at the TV with no talking. Tom
Oh.
and Jerry,
Jesus,
How dare they
Road-
put color in the TV?
Road Runner. Road Runner
Wow,
didn't talk.
honestly, really
Well, all we knew is Wile E. Coyote was going to drop an anvil on himself some
Yeah.
kind of
The
way.
only the thing that was weird though is J-Fig was the only person rooting for the Coyote back in the day.
Oh,
Is
wow.
Road Runner considered a bird?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't fly though.
Doesn't matter. Neither
Ostriches.
neither does a penguin.
Ostrich is not a bird, right?
What? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, I was confused. It lays eggs.
Yeah.
Eh,
Ostrich.
Okay, I got you.
What'd you think it was?
Huh?
Nothing. Never mind. What do you got?
My oh no, and is gonna somehow go to Live. I've enjoyed. I've watched part of it or whatever.
Oh,
But you got a whole lot of serious golfers playing silly golf. And I just wish you would make it more, not more competitive, because it's competitive, but make it more in lines with what the PGA Tour is doing so that you can get the world ranking points and be a legitimate tour. I don't fault them for going to Live because I told you I see what Jason's doing. Jason has won 5 or 6 tournaments, including a PGA championship, and he didn't even qualify for the Arnold Palmer this week, which is a joke. And I see why people leave to go elsewhere, because if you can't play, they don't care. You're not getting any money. So these guys went and got the guaranteed money. But I just wish you could put it more in line with what PGA Tour does.
J Fig, what do you got for all right? I don't know.
Well, my all right goes to every artist that enters their villain era.
All right.
I was watching SNL this weekend, and the Kelsey brothers were there, which they did a really good job. I enjoyed watching their skits. But also Kelsey Ballerini was there, and she was just...
I don't know who that is. Who is Kelsey Ballerini?
Are you serious?
I definitely don't know.
I thought she was doing a Rockville.
Yeah,
fake
who is
thing.
Kelsey Ballerini? Who is that? Is she a ballerina?
Kidding. No, she's a
What song
country
does she sing?
singer.
Kelsey Ball. Oh, she goes, Kelsey Ballerini.
Oh, that song. Oh, my bad. No, I don't know who that. What song does she sing?
Ballerini.
I'm not gonna sing for you, but
Come on.
she's doing a great job getting back at her ex-husband.
Oh, whoa.
I love that.
What happened? Why? What did he do?
He kept like trying to say that she blindsided him into a divorce and that he had no idea what was going on. And then he released a whole song about it. And then she went.
Oh, I know who this is. I know her song. She sings Peter Pan.
Yeah, you.
Does she?
And she does say to grow up in that song.
She does.
She does. But that's an old song. That's not an old song. So
2015.
she's been having problems with this guy for a while. Take her long enough.
No, what are you talking about? That was like probably before they got married.
That song?
Yeah.
Can I just say though that I appreciate when artists go through their villain phase as well, and when women decide to promote their independence. Why is my fiance walking around the house like singing these songs as if I'm PK? I feel like I cheated on Shakira now. I don't know. Very strange.
You got your own.
She's telling you to be careful. You do anything.
She's telling you.
Sleep with one eye
lightly,
open.
frog boy.
It's very strange.
All right. What do you have an oh no, J Fig?
My oh no goes to Elon.
Elon Musk?
Yeah, just breaking Twitter again. I'm literally about to just deactivate my
Twitter is a
account.
wild card. Like every day, there's some different change. I'm like, all
Something's
right,
different. I
figure out
think
what
it's
you want
broken.
already.
And him trying to redesign everything. Now they have Instagram trying to charge you for another verification.
That's true. That is true.
Like, stop.
Oh no.
What a bum.
Marcos?
My all right for this weekend goes to Canes basketball, man.
Yeah.
All right.
They finished off a strong season, only lost one game at home, which was heartbreaking for sure. But nonetheless, a really strong season. And it's been great to watch them, man. It's been great to slowly transform into a basketball school.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, not great, but I mean, they're cool that they've done that.
For
but
sure.
Also has been on the back of the football team, being terrible.
Yes. Now,
what's your oh no?
My oh no. Are you guys familiar with probably not the name, but the promotion AEW Wrestling?
Yes, it's owned by the Khan family.
Yes,
Tony
indeed.
Khan.
There is a wrestler there that goes by the name MJF. Are you guys familiar with that? By any
I've heard of the
chance?
name. I've never seen him wrestle, but I'm aware he's one of their most famous wrestlers.
Yes, throughout the entire world of wrestling, he is known as a heel. He does whatever he possibly can to get under the crowd's skin, which includes something that he did this weekend.
Were they here?
I don't think so. No, they weren't here. They will be here soon, but they weren't here this weekend. I'm not sure where they were necessarily, but I just know it wasn't here. MJF goes into the crowd, wasting time, getting the crowd angry. He walks up to a woman who has a cup in her hand. He takes that cup from the woman and then splashes the contents of that liquid into a child's face.
What?
This is a picture, if you're on our Twitch or YouTube right now, of him taking the cup and splashing it in the poor child's face. And I don't know, dude. I understand you're trying.
Was there ramifications of this? Was the kid in on the bit? Was he a plant?
So he wasn't.
Is this a work or is this a shoot?
Which is excellent terminology there. But according to Mr. Khan afterwards, he scolded his, which it can always mean.
Why wouldn't he? Of course he wants his bad guy to be a bad guy.
For sure. And he said though that the champion wasn't necessarily acting like a champion, invited the kid backstage, and the kid will get the
What's
Felipe
the kid's name?
treatment.
Felipe. That's what I'm saying.
I knew you were gonna go there.
Felipe's back at it again, man.
So that's what we call it. All kids who find ways to.
It's pulling the Felipe.
At least this kid worked for it, though. He took a cup of possibly beer to the face, dude.
Man,
That's
I'm
water.
definitely gonna watch
That's
that.
water, which is another thing. Which is another thing I say is planned.
Yeah.
Who
right?
has a cup of water? Who has a cup of water?
Yeah, you guys ever remember when the Harlem Globetrotters would throw a bucket of confetti at you thinking it was water? Classic bit.
That's so good.
Classic.
It really is. But yeah, that gets my oh no.
Hey, listen, my other oh no. This guy.
Whoa.
Goran Dragic.
Oh,
With the Bucks.
no.
Ring chaser.
Come on.
Ring chaser Gogi. Didn't know you had it in him, huh? Just the Bucks they're gathering up 2020 Heat players.
Why you lashing out at Gogi? Because you made a whole bunch of assumptions.
First of all, Gogi wearing number 31. What is that?
Yeah, gross.
And second of all, I didn't like it. I don't like him in green.
Yeah.
You know,
Looks weird.
Unbecoming. But doesn't matter. You know what? Every time a door shuts, a window opens.
What?
And that window is Big Yurt.
Yeah.
My guy, number 77.
Mm-hmm.
Back tonight. Available. Season
-1 to
debut.
you.
That's
and your
my
whole
dude.
little the chat last night, the shenanigans you pulled.
-1.
Oh my goodness. The chat
Oh
was
my
ridiculous.
god.
Nah, we don't have time to get into that.
Twisting it and making it uncomfortable
I
for
didn't make anything
Leroy.
uncomfortable. Like, listen, it just was what it was. Sorry. I mean, these are private messages. I can't believe you guys would want to put out to the public. But what I will put out to the public is a song.
Oh,
for our beloved
Fluffers everywhere.
Omer Yurtseven. But before that, if you guys want to go to Heat Grizzlies, caller 3 right now to 305-567-0560. Caller 3 to 305-567-0560 gets a pair of Heat Grizzlies tickets. Maybe John Morant will be there. Who knows?
I don't know.
But we do know this. John Crotty's coming up, and Omer Yurtseven is coming up right now, too.
Watching you play just makes me cheer. You are taller than a tree, and you step back and hit a three. Now nothing can take you away from me. You'll be part of Miami's core, and teams will wonder how he can rebound and can score. Oh, man, you're all that I want when you're flying right to the rim. I'm finding it hard to believe we got your 7.
What's your life, man?
And give you a block if you need, and to break the backboard apart. Isn't it great to see Omega 7?
Miami Heat right here. Heat right here with your Miami Heat television analyst from Miami Heat right here with your Miami Heat television analyst from Bally Sports Sun. You can, of course, watch that tonight on Bally Sports Sun. Pregame starting at 7 o'clock. John Crotty has the call alongside Eric Reed. John joining us here on the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 1,500 Toyotas indoors at one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. John, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Hey, guys. How you doing this morning?
You tell me, how are you doing with the way the season has gone up and down? And I can hear on the call how frustrated you get just from being a former player. Like, there's no consistency, and you're like, ah! How do you feel?
Yeah, it's been a challenge at times, right? Step forward, a step back. I think inconsistency is a great way to put it, Leroy. I mean, I think early on, you could point to a lot of bodies and injuries, guys being out, but that hasn't been the case as of late, as we've had a really healthy group with the exception of Kyle Lowry. I think the biggest head scratcher for me has been the 3-point shooting. It's really strange because you would look to, all right, maybe there's been some personnel changes. all right, maybe we're not getting the same shots, but we've had predominantly the same guys and shooters, right? And then you look at the quality of the shots we're getting. Are they good shots? And that's the coaching staff's job. And I think they've done a good job. They're getting open threes. And they just haven't made them to the point where they were number 1 in the league in percentage a year ago. And, they're like 28th or something now out of 30 teams. And obviously that analytic really matters when you get that extra point on those makes.
Is this? I've said this over and over again. I've never seen a team lead the league in a stat like that and then be bottom of the league that quick with the same players. It just doesn't happen. Like a bad season would be if you fall down to the middle of the pack,
right? Not
the bottom. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I mean, you would typically think it would be injury driven, right? Your key 3-point shooters are out, or a personnel change of some sort. So that's the thing to me that I and I pride myself as an analyst at looking at this stuff and trying to figure out, all right, this is why this is happening. That's my, my job, but it's honestly, it's very hard to explain. It really is, because the quality of the shots, I think, are still there.
John, after the loss to the New York Knicks, Jimmy had some comments about, what the team has been going through this year. I'm going to play it for our audience, and I don't know if you heard it or not, but I'm sure you did, because Spo adjusted. But this is what Jimmy had to say after the loss to the Knicks.
I mean, I'm at a point now, I think everybody is, where it doesn't surprise us. We really get bored with the process, and I can't tell you why. And, we play hard, and sometimes we get back in the game like we did tonight, and sometimes we don't. But either way it goes, if we just play basketball the right way the entire game, I don't think that we're in that situation more often than not. But for some odd reason, we think it's going to be easy, so we just go out there and go through the motions.
What did you make of Jimmy's comments, John, about just getting bored with the process of their kind of up and downness that they've struggled with this year?
Yeah, I mean, look, I hear frustration in his voice. I think he's a guy who does play hard and leaves it out there every single game, to his credit. So I hear frustration there. I mean, there's nothing else that I hear. And frankly, I want my star guys feeling it. I want them to take pride in winning. I want them to, voice, hey, look, this isn't good. We don't want to lose. I think the idea that we got to play harder, this is the stretch run, and to galvanize everyone together is important. At the end of the game, at the end of the day here, you can have all the scheming, all the systems you want. It comes down to the guys in the room being able to pull together and play hard to be competitive, however you got to do it to win.
You think Jimmy has to be more direct, and just start, I'm not saying in public, but behind closed doors at practice during the game, start calling guys out to hold them accountable? Or because it seems like everybody just makes the assumption that everybody else is going to do the right thing. And when it doesn't happen, we hear stuff like this from Jimmy or other players, saying we need to do this or we're not doing that. But you got to kind of hold each other accountable with that.
Yeah, no, I think Leroy, I do think he's the kind of guy who's doing that every day anyway.
Right.
He's not one to bite his tongue and check himself that way. I think he goes after guys too, in terms of actually in practice, the way he plays, not just verbally. So I think that's there. I think, part of it is just collectively continuing to hold the course. Here's the thing, guys. I mean, even with the frustration of where we're at, they're in a playoff position. Mm-hmm. There's a situation now where, when I was looking at the standings here, you got Brooklyn, who is kind of in a free fall because of all the personnel changes they've made. If you're trying to get yourself into the top 6, so you're not in that play-in game. If you're in the 7th or 8th seed, you're in that position where you have, major, potential slippage if you get into a play-in game where anything can happen, right? You have a guy roll an ankle and all of a sudden it's a 1-2 game thing and you're out before you even get a chance to get into the playoffs. If you're in 6th, now you're locked in, you have a 7-game series against somebody. I think that's the major goal. I think that's what everyone's playing for right now, is just to get in up above that number and lock it in. Not going to be easy, but To me, defensively is where they got to focus. It's not the sexiest thing. They're not the highest scoring team. In fact, they're the lowest scoring team in the league. So they got to focus. You're not going to like overnight flip the switch on that. You got to be even nastier defensively. They've had, before the last win against Atlanta, the previous 3 first halves were giving up 70 or more points in that first half. That's not Miami Heat basketball. You got to be tougher and nastier on the defensive end. Technique-wise, you got to control the guy that has the ball, be accountable to your teammates there and locked in to guard that guy hard. And, that was not happening. And to me, right now, that's what they can control, the defensive end. Obviously, you're continuing to work and try to be smoother on the offensive end, but it's like you're not going to go from 30 to first, right? You may move incrementally. Defensively is where you can be more consistent and win games.
You were mentioning this on the broadcast with Eric, because Bam had a really nice offensive game against the Hawks, and he, he's been playing fine, but like not quite to his all-star level. So it was great to see that. And I thought Tyler had a really great weekend too. Great game against the Knicks, and then a great fourth quarter against Atlanta. Those two guys, John, just getting back on that consistent offensive track, like how much smoother do you think that will make things?
Yeah, I think it makes it in a big time way. And I'm talking about Bam first. Bam, to me, played and deserved to be an all-star this year. He's been outstanding, and he's become a consistent 20-point, 10-rebound guy, which is awesome. And then he does so much more in regards to defending and also facilitating as a guy who can look over top and make plays, or as a dribble handoff guy. But he really got away from doing a lot of the dirty work and some of the hustle plays, I thought, during that losing streak, and can't really put a finger on why, but it just, he clearly, the coaching staff definitely, got back to him on that. And I thought we saw the Bam that had been an all-star all year long in that Atlanta game, scoring the basketball, rebounding the basketball, being able to set up guys, and then defensively with a couple of steals or blocks. He was outstanding.
John,
And
have
then-
you ever gone?
And then you talk about Tyler too. Let me just jump in on Tyler. Tyler has to be that guy, I think, who continues to play with confidence down the stretch. And we saw that against Atlanta. 22 points, he and Bam being able to make plays down the stretch. Tyler has just such ignitability that way, guys. When our offense is stagnant, he and Jimmy tend to be the guys who really get us going.
Have you ever been in a situation where you were playing your best basketball and it just fell off a cliff to where you couldn't make a shot, you couldn't do the things you normally do in a basketball court? And what did you do to turn it around? Because I mean, like you said, the shots are there. They're getting the same open shots. They're just not making them.
Yeah, well, from beyond the arc, I agree. I've had those situations as a guard. You can go through streaks where you're not, you're missing shots because it's a lot harder. Obviously, you can't get easy baskets. You can't get tip-ins and easy layups. You're 6'2" going against 7-footers trying to finish at the rim. So it becomes a lot more challenging. So, the way I always tried to look at it is you do the other little things. You make the hustle plays defensively if you can get some stops. And this has been part of Miami's recipe and formula all year long. You get the stops, you force turnovers, which Miami was number one in the league at for a while. Now you're jump starting your offense, right? You're getting numbers in transition on the break. You're getting those 3-on-2, 2-on-1 runouts, and you're not working against an opposing 5-man, connected half-court defense. You have them on their heels, and you're able to get easier baskets. And for an offense that has struggled being able to score the ball, being able to get 15 to 20 something points a game in transition is really, really important.
John, what have you made early impressions of Kevin Love and his insertion into the starting lineup since they got him in here, and I guess the trickle down has just had on the team?
Yeah, I like what Kevin Love brings because I think he's a bona fide three-point shooting threat along with Bam, where he can stay outside. Bam can be on the interior as the paint guy. It's really, to me, when I think about it, when you think about a pairing in the front court, I think he's really brings more than any other guy that Bam's played. I mean, you could look at like a Myers Leonard or someone like that, but he's not quite as skilled and certainly doesn't have the resume of a Kevin Love. So I like that Kevin Love's a 3-point shooter. I love his rebounding ability. The numbers he puts up is amazing. He's a great positional rebounder. What's been fun for me is watching him on his outlet passes. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but the way he takes it off the glass, and it's allowed Miami to play a little bit faster and get some easier baskets too. But with the way he'll make that half court, 3/4 court pass as a chest pass, which is impressive. And then, along those lines, Brendan, I would say, Cody Zeller too. I mean, I've been really impressed with what he's been able to bring, because frankly, he hadn't played the entire year. So I thought there might be a workup, of having to get him into some level of shape, but he's come in and just plays so hard. He's given the team a great lift. I thought Caleb Martin and he in the last game against Atlanta were critical. Our bench, has struggled at times being able to score, with Victor coming back from the injury and not really getting back to his offensive self. So, the scoring and those types of, tangible production is really much needed.
Yeah, that's been my favorite part of it, because I feel like Caleb just feels like Caleb was having a nice season, but obviously was doing a role that's not the most comfortable thing for him. He looks just so much more at home now, being like that just all energy, all out just type of guy to just provide a spark.
Yeah, I mean, he's truly a wing player, and he was having to guard guys that were, he's like 6'5", about 205, 210 pounds. He's guarding 6'10", 250-pound guys on a regular basis. It just beats the hell out of you. Yeah. So, it was hard for him to kind of get to his speed game. But it's not easy also being a starter and getting those kind of minutes, and you can kind of pace yourself and find, your opportunities. Now he's coming in off the bench, and it's just, all out all the time. And he runs that wing well. I think he's, one of our best finishers when you get it to him in transition, when he comes off that line, just coming on top of the basket with that right hand dunk. He's been a very consistent, one of our best 3-point shooters throughout the course of the year as well. So I think he's fit in extremely well, and he obviously can guard multiple positions, which is just so valuable from a coaching staff perspective.
Before we get you out of here, John, the other piece of news, it looks like we may be getting the debut of Omer Yurtseven tonight. A couple big games in the G League. It looked like they were going to have a nice role cut out for him this year, John, whatever it was going to be. Yeah. Do you see that being the case when he comes back? Because, like you said, Cody Zeller has been playing great. So I don't know where, Spo will find the minutes. He always calls these first-class problems. But, what do you think Omer can bring, just kind of being dropped with, a dozen and a half regular season games left? What can we expect from him?
Well, the thing that's been so it's a shame, right? Because I had similar thoughts where, it'd have been great to give him an opportunity to play with Bam more and see how they sync up, because he does have 3-point shooting ability. Now, he's not the 3-point shooter that Kevin Love is by any stretch, but to me, he has that capability. And we saw what he could do rebounding the ball last year when Bam had that thumb issue and was out, an extended period of time. He came in, he set a rookie record for double-figure rebounding games. He was outstanding, and he could finish in the paint. He's got nice touch, and he's just naturally very long and athletic. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how he's worked into the rotation. It's going to be a bit challenging. He's behind the curve there, but I think give him credit for coming back from the injury and playing now in the G League the way he did. He's handled it extremely well. I think he's shown that he's got the skill set. I think the hardest thing for him right now will be, every one of these games is so important for Miami. It's not easy for the coaching staff to really think about Omer as much as, just the team and trying to do what's best for the team. And Zeller is playing at such a high level. I think it will be hard to inject him into that lineup.
Appreciate the time, John. Thanks so much. We'll see you at the arena tonight.
Thanks, John.
There you go. John Crotty. Catch him tonight with Eric Reed on Bally Sports Sun. 7 o'clock is when their coverage gets going. We, of course, have a 7:30 tip-off from Miami-Dade Arena. And you, of course, can listen to that game right here on 560 WQAM. Solano will get you going with preheat at 6:15.